Hare Krishna, Pavan Prabhuji. Can you please share the Sanskrit, please? Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Okay. You mean, Prabhuji, is this one, Devnagari?
Yes.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Hope this is okay. So whenever you're ready, Mataji.
Yes, thank you so much.
With invocation prayers, Mataji.
Yeah.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Today we are reading from Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, text 49. Turena yavara karma buddha yoga dhananjaya buddho sharanam vichcha krupana falateva falahetava.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. O Dhananjay, keep all abominable activities far distance by devotion service, and in that consciousness surrender unto the Lord. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their works are misses. Hare Krishna.
Buddhi yukto. Could you just scroll down, please? Because I am reading from the Sanskrit. Thank you,
Sorry,
Prabhuji.
Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Buddhi yukto jahatiha ube sukrut dushkrute tasmadogaya yujyasva yoga karma sukaushalam.
A man engaged in devotional services rid himself of both good and bad reaction even in this life. Therefore, strive for yoga, which is the art of all works. Hare Krishna.
Karmajam buddhi yukta hi phalam tyaktva manishinaha janma bandha vinirmuktaha padam ganchantya namayam.
By thus engaging in the devotion services to the Lord, great sagas or devotees free themselves from the results of work in the material world. In this way, they become free from the cycle of birth and death and attain the state beyond all misses by going back to God ahead. Hare Krishna.
Yada te moha kalilam buddhirvyati tarishyati tada gantasi nirvedam shrotavyasya shrutasya cha.
When your intelligence has passed out of the dense forest of delusions, you shall become indifferent to all that has been heard and all that is to be heard. Hare Krishna.
Shruti vipratipanna te yada sthasyati nischala samadhavachala buddhis tada yogama avapyasi.
When your mind is no longer disturbed by the flowery language of the Vedas and when it remains fixed in the trance of self realizations, then you will be how to attain the divine consciousness. Hare Krishna.
Arjuna uvacha stita pratyasya ka bhasha samadhistasya keshava stitadhi kim prabhasheta kimasita vrajeta kim.
Arjun said, O Krishna, what are the symptoms of one whose consciousness is thus merged in a transcendence? How does he speak and what is his language? How does he sit and how does he walk? Hare Krishna.
Shri Bhagwan uvacha prajahati yata karmas सर्वान् पार्थ मनोगतान् आत्मनेवात्मना तुष्ट स्थितप्रज्ञस्तदोच्यते.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, O Parth, when a man gives up all varieties of desire for sense gratification which arise from mental concatenation, and when his mind, thus purified, find the satisfaction in the self alone, then he said to be in pure transitional consciousness. Hare Krishna.
दुःखेषु अनुविघ्नमनः सुखेषु विगतस्पृह वीतरागभयक्रोधः स्थितिमुनिरुच्यते.
One who is not disturbed in the mind, even the amidst the threefold miseries or elated when there is a happiness, and who is free from attachment, fear, and anger, is called a saga of the steady mind. Hare Krishna.
या सर्वत्रानभिस्नेहस्तत्तत्प्राप्य शुभाशुभं नाभिनन्दति न द्वेष्टि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
In the material world, one who is unaffected by whatever good or evil he may obtain, neither praising it or nor dispraising it, it firmly fixed in the perfect knowledge. Hare Krishna.
यदा संहरते चायं कर्मोऽग्नि ज्ञानीव सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यस्तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
One who is able to withdraw his sense from sense objects, or as the tortoise draws its limb with the shell, is the firmly fixed in a perfect consciousness. Hare Krishna.
विषया विनिवर्तन्ते निराहारस्य देहिनः रसवर्जं रसोऽप्यस्य परं दृष्ट्वा निवर्तते.
Though the embodied soul may be restricted from sense of enjoyment, the taste of sense object remains, but the ceasing such engagements by experiencing a high taste is fixed in consciousness.
यततो यापि कौन्तेय पुरुषस्य विपश्चितः इन्द्रियाणि प्रमाथीनि हरन्ति प्रसभं मनः.
The saints are so strong and impetuous, O Arjuna, that they forcibly carry away the mind even of men of discriminations who is endeavoring to control them. Hare Krishna.
तानि सर्वाणि संयम्य युक्त आसीत मत्परः वशे हि यस्येन्द्रियाणि तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
One who restrains his senses, keeping them under full control, and fixes his consciousness upon me, is known as a man of steady intelligence. Hare Krishna.
ध्यायतो विषयान् पुंसः सङ्गस्तेषुपजायते सङ्गात् सञ्जायते कामः कामात् क्रोधोऽभिजायते.
While contemplating the objects of the sense, a person develops attachment for them, and from such attachment, lust develops, and from the last, anger arises. Hare Krishna.
क्रोधात् भवति सम्मोहात् स्मृतिविभ्रमः स्मृतिभ्रंशात् बुद्धिनाशात् प्रणश्यति.
From anger, complete delusion arises, and from delusions, bewilderment of memory. When memory is bewildered, intelligence is lost, and when intelligence is lost, one fall down again into the material pool. Hare Krishna.
विमुक्तैस्तु विषयान् इन्द्रियास्यचरन् आत्मवैशेर्विधेयात्मा प्रसादमधिगच्छति.
But a person free from all attachment and aversion and able to control his senses, through regular principle of freedom, can obtain the complete mercy of the Lord. Hare Krishna.
प्रसादे सर्वदुःखानां हानिरस्योपजायते प्रसन्नचेतसो यासु बुद्धिपर्यवतिष्ठते.
For one thus satisfied in Krishna's consciousness, the threefold misses of material existence exist no longer. In such satisfied consciousness, one's intelligence is sooner well established. Hare Krishna.
नास्ति बुद्धिरयुक्तस्य न चायुक्तस्य भावना न चाभावयत शान्तिरशान्तस्य कुतः सुखम्.
One who is not connected with the Supreme in Krishna's consciousness can have neither transcendental intelligence nor a steady mind, without which there is no possibility of peace. And how can there be an happiness without peace? Hare Krishna.
इन्द्रियाणां हि चरतां विधीयते तदस्य हरति प्रज्ञां वायुर्नावम् इवाम्बसि.
As a strong wind sweeps away a boat onto the water, even one of the roaming senses on which the mind focus can carry away the man's intelligence. Hare Krishna.
तस्मादस्य महाबाहो निगृहीतानि सर्वशः इन्द्रियाणीन्द्रियार्थेभ्यस्तस्य प्रज्ञा प्रतिष्ठिता.
Therefore, O mighty armed, one whose senses are restrained from their object is certainly of steady intelligence. Hare Krishna.
या निशा सर्वभूतानां तस्यां जागर्ति संयमी यस्यां जागृति भूतानि सा निशा पश्यतो मुनेः.
What is night for all beings is the time of awakening for self-control, and the time of awakening for all the beings is night for the introspective saga. Hare Krishna.
आपूर्यमानम् अचलप्रतिष्ठं समुद्र अपः प्रविशन्ति यद्वत् तद्वत् कामायं प्रविशन्ति सर्वे स शान्तिमाप्नोति न कामकामी.
A person who is not disturbed by the incessant flow of desires, they enter like a rivers into the ocean, which is ever been filled, but it's always still, can alone achieve a peace and not the man who strives to satisfy such desire. Hare Krishna.
Vihaya kamanya sarvanu pumascharati nuspruha nirmamo nirankara sashantim adhigacchati.
A person who has given all up all desire for sense gratifications, who lives free from desires, who has given up all senses of proprietorship and is devoid of false ego, he alone can attain a real peace. Hare Krishna.
एषा ब्राह्मी स्थिति पार्थ नयनं प्राप्य विमुह्यति स्थित्वा स्यान्तकालेऽपि ब्रह्मा निर्वाणमृच्छति.
That is the way of spiritual and godly life, after attaining which a man is not bewildered. If one is thus situated even at the hour of death, one can enter into the kingdom of God. Hare Krishna.
Very nicely recited, Sakshi Mataji and Neeraj Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you for giving me this opportunity and please forgive me for the mistakes I committed. Thank you, Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna to all us. Thank you.
Maybe we can end with Hare Krishna 3 times, Mataji. So,
Yes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, शीला प्रभुपाद की जय. हरि हरि बोल. हरे कृष्णा.
Hare Krishna. Now we'll be doing japa by example for the next 10 minutes. Can I ask Jay Mataji to do Panchatattva mantra, please? And then let me find the link actually. Prabhuji, that link, I don't know.
if you click that one, Prabhuji, it will open. Just click those links now. All the links will open at once. You click each one, it will open here.
So I tried. Got it. Yeah. Jay Mataji, whenever you're ready, would you be able to punch that one, please? Yeah.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances and all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare,
Krishna
Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare,
Ram,
Hare
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare,
Hare
Ram,
Hare
Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare
Ram,
Krishna,
Ram, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram,
Hare
Ram
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.
Ram,
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Hare Ram Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna 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 Krishna Hare Ram Krishna Hare 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 Ram Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare Ram Hare Hare
Krishna. We're gonna move to the next session, the Kirtan. So if anyone has not japa, kindly you can mute and finish the japa. And then we're gonna move to the Kirtan. Can I ask?
Can end with the Panchatattva mantra Prabhuji 3 times. So after completing Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, so Panchatattva mantra 3 times, please. We can do it, Prabhuji.
Okay. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasudhi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasudhi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasudhi Gaura Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna. So, can I ask Gayatri Mataji to volunteer any kirtan, please, and then Gaurangi Mataji to follow? Is that okay, Mataji?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yes, sure, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
So which Kirtan would you like to do, Mataji, today?
Prabhuji, is it okay if I do Vibhavari Shesha?
Okay, Mataji, I'll just calculate. Vibhavari Shesha. Is it KK songs, Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji.
And is it the right one?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Okay. Gauranga Mataji, is it okay to follow for you, Mataji?
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. So is it okay to follow Gayatri Mataji?
Yes, Prabhuji. Sure.
Thank you. Okay, Gayatri Mataji, whenever you're ready.
Sure, Prabhuji. Thank you, Gaurangi Mataji. Hare Krishna. विभावरी शेषालोक प्रवेश निद्राचारी उठो जीवा
विभावरी शेषा आलोक प्रवेशा निन्द्रा छाडी उठो जीवा
विभावरी शेषालोक प्रवेश निद्रा चढ़ी उठो जीवा
विभावरी शेषा आलोक प्रवेशा निन्द्रा छाडी उठो जीवा
बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्ण हयग्रीवा
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 नरसिंह वामन श्री मधुसूदन ब्रजेंद्र नंदन श्यामा
नरसिंह वामन श्री मधुसूदन ब्रजेंद्र नंदन श्यामा
पूतन घातन कैतव शातन जय दशरथि रामा
पूतन घातन कैतव सातन जय दशरथि रामा
यशोद दुलाला गोविंद गोपाला वृंदावन पुरंदरा
यशोदा दुलाला गोविंद गोपाला वृंदावन पुरंदरा
गोपी प्रिय जन राधिका रमण भुवन सुंदर बारा
गोपी प्रिया जना राधिका रमण भुवन सुंदर बार
रावण अंतकार माखन तस्कर गोपी जना वस्त्रहारी
रावण अंतकर माखन तस्कर गोपी जन वस्त्रहारी
ब्रजेर राखला गोप वृंदा पाला चित्त हरि बंशीधारी
ब्रजेंद्र राखल गोप वृंदापाल चित्त हरि बंशीधारी
योगीन्द्र बन्दना श्रीनन्दनन्दन व्रज जना भयहारी
योगेन्द्र बन्दन श्रीनन्दनन्दन व्रज जना भयहारी
नवीन नीरद रूप मनोहर मोहन वंशी बिहारी
नवीन नीरद रूप मनोहर मोहन वंशी बिहारी
यशोदनन्दन कंसनिषूदन निकुञ्जरासविलासी
यशोदनन्दन कंसनिषूदन निकुञ्जरसविलासी
कदम्बकानन रासपरायण वृन्दविपिन निवासी
कदम्बकानन रसपरायण वृन्दाविपिन निवासी
आनन्दवर्धन प्रेमनिकेतन फुलसराजोजकामा
आनन्दवर्धन प्रेमनिकेतन फुलसरजो जोजककामा
गोपाङ्गनागन चित्तविनोदन समस्तगुणगणधामा
गोपाङ्गनगन चित्तविनोदन संसतगुणगणधाम
यमुनजीवन केळिपरायण मानसचन्द्रचकोरा
जमुना जीवन केलिपरायण मानस चन्द्र चकोरा
नाम सुधारस गाओ कृष्ण जस राखो वचन मन मोरा
नाम सुधारस गाओ कृष्ण जस रख वचन मन मोरा
विभावरी शेषालोक प्रवेश निद्राचारी उठो जीवा
विभावरी शेषा आलोक प्रवेश निद्राचारी उठो जीवा
बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्ण हयग्रीवा
बोलो हरि हरि मुकुंद मुरारी राम कृष्ण हयग्रीवा
विभावरी शेषालोक प्रवेश निद्राचड़ी उठो जीवा
विभावरी शेषा आलोक प्रवेश निद्राचारी उठो जीवा
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you so much, Prabhuji,
Hare
for
Krishna
this
Mataji, very, very soothing actually, very, very beautiful.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you, Mataji and Prabhuji.
Done very well, Gauranga Mataji and Gayatri Mataji, really beautiful Mataji, thank you.
Please forgive any mistakes. I am.
It's completely nice Mataji.
Also me too, Prabhuji.
No flaws at all.
Pronunciation is wrong sometimes, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
That's very nice Mataji. Yeah. So we'll go to like Guru Vandana prayers now. Can I request Prabhavati Sachmataji to lead, and then maybe we all can probably follow after that. Is it okay?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Can you lead for us, Mataji? So we all will follow you. You all can unmute and just follow Mataji. Yeah.
Yeah. Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma
Sri
Shri
Guru
Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma.
Sri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakati Sadma
Shri Guru Charana Padma Kevala Bhakti Sadma.
Bandhu Muni Savadana Mate
Bandhu Muni Savadana Mate
Jahara Prasade Bhai E Bhava Turiya Jai
Jahara
Prasade bhai
Bhava
Turiya jai.
Krishna Prapti Hoy Hoy Te
Krishna Prapti Hoy
Guru Mukha Padmavakya Chitte Koriya Akya
Guru
Mukha Padmavakya Chitte Koriya.
Arana Kore Ho Mane Asha
Arna Koriho Mani Asha.
Sri Guru Charane Rati Aise Uttamagati
श्री गुरु चरण
ये प्रसाद पूरे सर्व आशा
जय प्रसाद पूरे
चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से
चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से
चक्षुदान दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से
चक्षुदान
दिलो जय जन्मे जन्मे प्रभु से
दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो
दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो
दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो
दिव्य ज्ञान हृदय प्रकाशितो
प्रेम भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाशा जाते
प्रेम
भक्ति जहाँ होते अविद्या विनाशे जाते
वेदे गाय जहर चरितो
जगचरितो
श्री गुरु करुणा सिंधु अभय अधम जनर बंधु
श्री
गुरु करुणा सिंधु अधम जनर बंधु
लोकनाथ लोकेर जीवाना
जीवाना
हा हा प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पद चया
प्रभु करो दया देखो मोरी पर छाया
हा हा प्रभु करो दया देह मोरे पद चया
प्रभु करो दया देहो मोरी पद छाया
एबे जय गुशु त्रिभुवना एबे जय गुशु त्रिभुवना श्रील प्रभुपाद पतित पावना श्रील प्रभुपाद पतित पावना जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा जय प्रभुपदा
जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा जय प्रभुपादा
जय गुरुदेव 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 जय शिल गुरुदेव
जय गुरुदेव गुरुदेव जय शिल गुरुदेव
जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की
जय
Very beautiful, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Very, very beautiful, Mataji. Thank you so much. And we'll move to Mangalacharan prayers, and then can I ask Sakshi Mataji to do Mangalacharan prayers, please?
Yes, surely, Prabhuji. Thank you for giving me this opportunity. Thank you.
I'm just sharing the screen a bit.
ॐ अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकया
ॐ
अज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया
चक्षुरन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः।
चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै
तस्मै
श्रीगुरवे
गुरुवे
नमः।
नमः।
श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले
श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले
स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्।
स्वयं
ददाति संवित्पदं प्रति।
वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुधपदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवंश्च।
वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं गुरुवैष्णवम्
श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम्
श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवम्
साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम्
साद्वैतं
सावधूतं
परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम्
श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च
श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान्
सहगणा
हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमस्तुते।
हे
कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते।
वञ्चकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो
नमः।
तप्त काञ्चन गौरङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये।
गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये।
जय श्री कुड़ी
नमो विष्णुपदाय माताजी।
नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नामिने।
नमो
विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते
श्रीमते
भक्तिवेदान्त
भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामीति नमे।
नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारिणे।
नमस्ते
सरस्वते देवो गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषवसुनयवादी देशातारिन्।
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा।
Jai Shri
Shri
Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda
Nityananda Sri
Shri
Advaita
Advaita
Gadadhara Sri Saraswati Gora Bhakta Vedanta
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
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 Rama
Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
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 Hare
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 Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna Krishna
Krishna, Krishna
Krishna Hare
Krishna, Hare
Krishna
Hare,
Hare Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, very beautifully done. Yeah, everyone very beautifully followed. Hare Krishna. So I'm going to do Prem Dhwani prayers now. So I'm going to recite from here to Ki, and everyone can say Jai after that. Hare Krishna. जय नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट ओम विष्णुपादा परमहंसा परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद हिज डिवाइन ग्रेस श्रीला एसी भक्ति वेदांता स्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की जय ओम विष्णुपाद परमहंसा परिव्रजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद भक्ति सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी महाराज प्रभुपाद की
जय
कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की
जय
रामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की
जय
इस्कॉन फाउंडर श्रीला प्रभुपाद की
Jai.
प्रेम से गौ श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद जय अद्वैता गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की
Jai.
श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की
Jai.
वृंदावन धाम की
Jai.
मथुरा धाम की
Jai.
नवद्वीप धाम की
Jai.
जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की
Jai.
गंगा माई की
Jai.
यमुना माई की
Jai.
तुलसी देवी की
Jai.
भक्ति देवी की
Jai.
संकीर्तन यज्ञ की
Jai.
बृहद मृदंगा की
Jai.
सामवेद भक्त वृंद की
Jai.
और प्रेमानंदा.
Hare Hare
Hare Hare.
Hari
All
Bol.
glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare
Hare Krishna.
All glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare
All
Krishna.
glories to the assembled devotees.
Hare Krishna.
All glories to
Krishna.
Sri Guru and Gauranga.
Hare
Hari Bol. Hari Bol.
Very nice. I can see very good energy in Jay as well from everyone. So we'll move to our next schedule today. So that's the special session. So that's Restore Krishna's Raj by His Grace Chakrapani Das Prabhuji. And then I'll just pass the stage to him. Over to you, Prabhuji. So we look forward to your sharings. And then I'm going to stop sharing now, and over to you, Prabhuji.
We haven't got Chakrapani Prabhuji joined yet. We got
okay.
Hari Prabhuji joined, and Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Hare Krishna, everyone. So Prabhuji will be joining imminently. So he's joining from India. So he has confirmed he's coming in a few minutes. So we'll just have to wait.
No problem.
Maybe if you want to do some kirtan in the meantime. I mean, just to let you know that Prabhu was meant to give an hour session, but he's a bit sick this evening, so he has agreed to give half an hour. So hopefully that's okay with everybody. I mean, he's pushing himself to come in this evening. I've actually requested him, so he has kindly agreed to come and at least do half an hour, and then of course back next week. Anyway, Agmoga Prabhu will let us know what will happen afterwards. So otherwise, he will be joining anytime from now. So maybe we could, I don't know, Prabhu, maybe we could do some kirtan while Prabhu is joining. That'd be fine.
Thank you,
Or
Prabhuji.
if there's anything else which you want to do, and
So as Prabhuji has given some introduction last week, so I think we have also got his video. So a few minutes, 6 minutes of video. Meanwhile, he joins here.
Oh, there you are. He's here now.
Joined, I think.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Very well.
Okay. So Chakrapani Prabhu, over to you. And again, thank you very much for taking the effort and the time to come and do this presentation. We're aware that you're not very well, but you still agreed to come and give half an hour. So we're very, very grateful for that. Over to you, Prabhu, without any delay.
Hare Krishna to all devotees. Please accept my humble obeisances. So I have a little bit of a different voice today because I have a temperature and also I have a fever, cold cough and all that. So that's why I requested that I'll do a shorter session. So that's from my health side. So please excuse me in case if there is less clarity compared to the previous session. So that's a small breakdown from my side. So yeah, so last session we covered, if you remember, the history of Sri Krishna, Dwarka, and I believe that we're gonna do one more session after this, where we'll go much deeper. So today I thought, why don't we cover in some detail about Krishna, history of Braj and all that. So is there anyone who has not attended the previous session and is coming for the first time today?
Yes, I am coming first time. Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Okay, so there is Sadhvi,
Yes, I'm going for the first time.
Okay.
Prabhuji.
Me too, Prabhuji. I'm coming for the first time. Thank you.
Okay, nearly 5 of you are coming for the first time. Okay. And rest of you have come for the previous session. So anybody would like to share what we learned in the previous session? Anybody would like to unmute yourself and share what you got in the previous session?
Hari Prabhuji, would you like to share, Prabhuji?
Yes. Yeah. So Prabhuji talked about, the brief account of the history of how India, specifically Braj, was invaded, and there were lots of sites which have been destroyed, and eventually, Prabhuji has been doing lots of research around the archaeological sites, and especially related to the Mahabharata, and spent lots of time, lots of energy, and several years trying to do some research. And he came up with his book, Mahabharata, Myth or Mythology. And then he went through a little bit about this particular place in Vrindavan, just outside Vrindavan, where he saw an inscription, and that was the trigger for him to do further research. I think the inscription was about the 5 Vasus, and he wanted to correlate that with the scriptures and who are these five Asus. And eventually, during his researches, he ended up in Andhra Pradesh, where he was able to find a bit of information on the five Asus, who those five Asus were.
Vrishnis.
Vrishnis.
Oh, sorry, the Vrishnis. Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, the Vrishnis. And then he talked a little bit about the project which he's supposed to be, well, he's planning to do anytime soon, is the mapping of the archaeological mapping through satellite of the Braj region. So initially, it will be a part of Braj as a pilot project, and that will culminate into the entire Braj. Depending on the resources and the authorization of the government of Uttar Pradesh and the other senior personality in the government of India as well. So he talked a bit about the project, and we left it there at that point. So I don't know if anybody else would like to add anything on this.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
Chakrapani Prabhuji from Historica Foundation, so where Prabhuji has been working for a couple of years, even he left his job, and then he has got so many evidences, and also from the Dwarka, and so many evidences from the Greece, some of the coins from Denmark as well, where the coins they dated back to around 2500 years. So where Krishna and Vasudeva or Vasudeva Krishna or Sankarshna, which is Balaram. Those coins were dated back to that past times. That means in the Greek, in Denmark, throughout the world, and also in UK also there was a historical place as well. So that means these are all connecting to the Vedic times. So here Chakrapani Prabhuji. So collecting all those evidences, and also there are so much of in the Vrindavana currently, so much of land has been piled up or covered by the soil. And Prabhuji is working to try to using the different kinds of latest technologies. I identified uh, those world historical buildings or anything belongs to Krishna. So Prabhuji is working on that. So with the latest technologies in the Egypt, so I think they have found so many of pyramids using the latest LiDAR, radar, so many other latest technologies. So now Chakrapani Prabhuji is working on the similar kind of project, but here it is coming nearer to everything is connecting to Krishna. So we are devotees, so we need to preserve our heritage and historical things where Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. So many people, they do not know how it is connected. So by here, scientifically, we are proving everything. So for that, so even archaeological department is also involving Historica Foundation. So Chakrapani Prabhuji is leading that Historica Foundation and all those things. Okay, so here Prabhu also showed what is happening, what is hiding under the ground within 5 feet down and 10 feet down, 15 feet down. Likewise, so much of land has been covered now. So those things needs to be excavated. So that Prabhuji has briefly described in the last session. So these are a few things I have taken out in a short note. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Okay, thank you so much. So somebody's raising a hand. Shall we address it or shall we start the session?
Yeah, we can. Neeraj Prabhuji, do you have anything at the moment, or we can take questions at the
The
end?
only thing that I want to understand is a birch is of all 4 or 5 cities, or only one city, Mathura, Vrindavan, we are doing historical.
It's all.
We'll explain everything of that project. Yeah.
Okay.
Today you get an idea of it, and then the next session will be comprehensive explaining about what we are planning to do in Braj. So don't worry.
Okay.
In short, the idea is that complete Braj mapping. Complete. Whatever we know as the Chaurasi Coast Bridge, the
Okay.
80 Coast Bridge, that's where we are planning to map the entire region. So that's about it. So this is yesterday, last session which we had last time, if you remember. So I'll quickly run through it. So remember we covered about all those who came. So please drop in your emojis in case you found some points valuable, or if you have some questions, you can also note it down and ask at the end. So we discovered about how Krishna is not imaginary. Krishna is a real person. Mahabharata is a real historical event which had happened in the past, but unfortunately there are many scholars who say that, Yudhishthir was inspired by Ashoka, although literatures before Yudhishthir speak of Ashoka. Literatures before Ashoka speak about Yudhishthir, So because Ashoka is 2,300 years old, tentatively speaking, academically, Ashoka is 2,300 years old, and before his period, there were literatures like the Kunal Jataka, which refers to Yudhishthir. So how can Yudhishthir be inspired by Ashoka? So we discussed the logic of how illogical it is, and then we discussed how we have lost so many ancient sites, universities, and all that due to so many of these invasions. The Hun invasion, we discussed about Ghajni's invasion, then the Turkic Sultanate invasion, Mughal invasion primarily by Aurangzeb, and finally the invasion by Ahmad Shah Abdali. So 5 invasions, we lost so much of heritage in Braj. It was just unbelievable loss. So in spite of all these things, all these evidences and issues, Bharat still has 300 plus historical evidences of Mahabharat and Krishna, which I've documented in my best-selling book, Mahabharat Mitra History. It is it's a strongly recommended book but from my side, that every Sanatani, not just a Vaishnav, every Sanatani who follows the Sanatan tradition, and everyone who connects himself to India must read this book. It's a phenomenal research work on the history of Sri Krishna, history of Mahabharata, and history of ancient India. So I'm fortunate to be the author of this book, and also have authored many other books. So we discussed about Agathocles coins, if you remember. Any of you remember? We discussed, we went into great detail about this particular coin, right? So I'll cover that. We are going to cover that in the session. Then we discussed about world's oldest Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. This is nearly 2,300 or 2,400 years old. Jagannath Baldev Subhadra's cave paintings found in Madhya Pradesh. You can see Krishna with his chakra, Balramji with his plow, and a female deity. So three of them are depicted in this cave painting found in Madhya Pradesh. Then these are wall carpets where Krishna's childhood pastimes are painted. So like that, so many of these evidences we discussed. And a short intro about me. My name is Chandru Ramesh, one of India's well-known, renowned historian. I've had a very good career as a software engineer, but my heart was always pulling me towards ancient India, its culture, heritage, and all that. So it's a very fulfilling life to live in the service of Bharat, in the service of ancient India, in the service of heritage conservation. So I traveled across India, across Southeast Asia, Sri Lanka, Europe to explain the importance of, Vedic culture. So just wanted to reconfirm, everybody's able to see the screen now, right? The
Yes.
screen is visible. Can you
Yes,
see
thank
it?
Is it this book you mean?
No, I'm just saying you're able to see the
Yes.
screen
Yes.
where,
Yes.
where the book is being showed, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Perfect. That's all I wanted to know. Because sometimes the screen hangs or maybe it doesn't share, so I just wanted to confirm. Great. So this is, I also have a lot of support from the academic community. I'm invited in several top conferences and presentations and seminars across multiple universities. This is from Delhi University, where I was invited as a keynote speaker on preservation of the Hindu Dharma and like understanding Hindu Dharma, what is Hinduness and all that. So that's a very good uh, presentation they had when they had opened Center for Hindu Studies. So I was one of the speakers who spoke when the center opened in the University of Delhi. This is their appreciation letter. So I've also worked with the Uttar Pradesh State Archaeology Department. This is the photo from within the ministry. This is our MOU with IIT Tirupati, and this is the Chief Minister of Chhattisgarh, Deputy CM of Chhattisgarh. So we are also planning to start some work in Chhattisgarh to develop the Ramayan circuit there. This is our MOU with IIT Kanpur to work on geospatial technologies. And if you are on YouTube, please search Chandru Ramesh. You will see hundreds of podcasts, especially the one with Amog Leela Prabhu is very famous. It has more than 6 lakh views. So total my podcast views are more than 10 million, where you can get a lot of information about ancient India. So we discussed about, if you remember, we discussed about these coins. These coins depict Krishna. Sorry, these coins depict a very famous deity, a female deity, right? So any of you remember who is this female deity?
Goddess.
Lakshmi Devi.
Yes. How do we say that this is Lakshmi?
She is worshipped by two elephants showering water, and she is on lotus flower. And also there is a crocodile.
Yeah, in world iconography, study of different forms and all, so only female deity be standing around lotus or being depicted with a lotus or being worshipped by two elephants, etc., is only Lakshmi, no one else. No other female deity in any culture. So these are Lakshmi coins from. Remember which place this was? From where did we find these coins? Any of you remember where these coins were found?
Is it Afghanistan, Prabhuji?
No, Afghanistan was the Krishna Balram coins. These coins are somewhere which is very, memorable for people from the UK.
Is that Greece, Prabhuji?
No.
Denmark. So I just
Denmark.
Yes, Denmark. Very good. So, any of you still remember what was the name of the place in Denmark? I'm testing you. I'm putting all your memories under a trial right now. All of you, those who came. So shall I? So this place is called as Gunderstrup Cauldron. Gunderstrup, Gunderstrup Cauldron. So this place holds a lot of interesting historical artifacts going back to more than 2000 years. So one such data is this coin where Lakshmi Devi is depicted. Along with this place also has shown evidences of Pashupati worship, Lord Shiva's worship. And in London, we saw the worship of whom? Anybody remember what we saw in London?
Sun god. Mitra.
Yeah, Mitra worship. Om Mitraya Namaha is mentioned in the Veda. The same Mitra's worship was being conducted in London. Can you imagine? And people from the colonial rulers from Britain, they ruled India, considering that they are dealing with a new civilization called India, but actually they have a very ancient connection with India, going back to more than 2000 years. They were connected to India. This is one such evidence where the worship of Mitra was very prominent in the United Kingdom. And see, the location is very near to the Buckingham Palace, very near. This Mithraeum is very near to the Buckingham Palace, and it was found by chance. Nobody expected that there will be such an amazing historical temple of Mitra found right in the heart of city of London. Can you imagine? Right? The city of London was called as Londonium. Londonium or Londonium. I don't know how exactly it's pronounced. Londonium. So by the Romans, the Romans used to live here and they worshipped Mitra, sun god in London. So we discussed in detail about Mitra and how he spread across the Greek culture, the Vedic culture. And then we discussed about how the Mitra worship spread across Eurasia, Europe and Asia. And then we discussed about Indra, Mitra, Varuna, and Nasatya. These four Vedic gods were worshipped in West Asia in an inscription called as Bogaskoi inscription. Bogaskoi inscription is nearly 3,400-year-old inscription where Indra, Mitra, Varuna, these three Vedic gods, they are mentioned as witness. Two kings are doing a transaction, right? So two kings are doing any kind of transaction. So during the transaction, what is happening exactly is that they are keeping the Vedic gods, Indra, Mitra, Varuna, and Asatya as divine witness, right? So I'm getting a question. What is the main purpose of your research? What benefits do you personally and socially expect from it? And how is ISKCON or any government body supporting or guiding this work? Great. So I think I'm addressing that during the session, and also as you see the entire session, you will get a full idea about this, like the purpose of the research and you know the benefits which everybody gets this because of this work. We're going to cover that. So please give me a while I cover this session, and at the end, definitely, if I do not answer, please just ping me again here on this message window so that I'll cover this topic in some depth for you. Okay, so we discussed about the five Vamshas. If you remember, we discussed about Anu, Yadu, Puru, Anu in the Punjab region, Puru in the heartland, like Delhi, Western UP and all. Then we discussed about Yadu in Gujarat, Maharashtra, and so on. And then we discussed about Turvasu, its location being Southeast India and also possibly South India as well. And Druhu in the Gandhar region, what we know today as Afghanistan. Then we discussed about how Druhu got migrated and how they shifted and they became the Druids of Europe, Northern Europe. The Druhus became the Druids and how they had similarity, the Druhus of Bharat and Druids of United Kingdom, how they were similar. Then we saw about the Indra worship across the so-called Indo-European civilizations, and in the Hittite kingdom, they were known as Inar. Indra was known as Inar. Then we saw about the Nevali Kori ruins where you can see the Shikha in a statue. And we saw about how we saw this one. Anybody would like to comment on this? Who remembers what this is? Anybody? So that we keep people alive in terms of what they had heard in the previous session. Anybody would like to comment?
Sanchita Mataji.
Okay, if not, okay, somebody wants to share, they can please quickly because we have a lot of topics to cover.
Yeah, Prabhuji, you can go ahead, Prabhuji.
So if you remember, we covered this. This is the coin of Krishna. Krishna is depicted here. Vasudev Krishna. It might look a little strange why Krishna is given this kind of dressing, but I'll explain that. These are Indo-Greek script. What you see here is an Indo-Greek script of Krishna and is written Vasudeva. Vasudeva is written here, and this personality is carrying a chakra in his hand. So you might wonder, oh, this might not be Krishna. Why would Krishna be wearing this kind of different dress? It's not so, Bharatiya, Indian, as you might call it. So the next coin, the coin found very near to this coin is called as the Sankrishna coin, where Krishna is depicted, where Balramji is depicted with his famous weapons, the Hal and the Gada. So Sankarshna, Hal, and Gada. So clearly this was Krishna and Balram. We covered this in great depth, if you remember. So this was the previous session. Then we saw the world's oldest non-Indian devotee, if we may call him that way, Heliodorus, who spoke a Greek language, who was Krishna's most ancient recorded foreign devotee. He constructed a temple, possibly a temple, but he has definitely made an inscription in his name, a pillar in the front of the temple, and he recorded his name and his devotion to Vasudeva. Beautiful inscription. Then we saw about worship of Krishna 2300 years ago in the land of Mathura. So I'll do a quick rapid fire. If you remember, in the city of Mathura, there was a river by the name, anyone? There was in the ancient city of Mathura, which is Mathura, of course. Megasthenes says, 2300-year-old traveler Megasthenes says that in the city of Mathura, there was this famous river by the name of, anyone?
Jamuna.
Jobares.
Jobayas.
Yeah, he says there was this famous river by the name of Jobares. And, Jobares River is flowing, and in the Jobares River, uh, right next to the Jobares River, there is this famous tribe by the name of, who remembers? There's a famous tribe who was worshipping a famous person. So this tribe was called as Saur Senoi tribe. Saur Senoi, which is basically the Shaur Sena tribe, who belong to the Shur Sena kingdom. The Shaur Sena kingdom, a Saur Sena tribe worshipping a person by the name of, anyone remembers? It was Heracles. If you remember, this person was Heracles. Now you may wonder, Mathura is clear, it is Mathura. Jobaris is clear, it's Jamuna. Saur Senoi is clear, is the Shaur Sena, meaning of the Shura Senas. So, in the city of Mathura, where Jobaris river is flowing, the Shurasena people used to worship a personality by the name of Heracles. Now, who is this Heracles? This is clearly Krishna. Hari, who is the Kula Isha of the Shurasena people. Hari Kula Isha Shurasena. Hari Kula Isha Shaurasena. So, Hari Kula Isha became Heracles. So, this we saw that in great depth. We analyzed how this linguistic transformation happened and established the worship of Krishna in the land of Mathura 2300 years ago. And multiple scholarly analysis of how, from the writings of Quintus Curtius, how Heracles' image was carried in front of Alexander's army by the Indian warriors and so on. We analyzed that. Then we discussed about Chinese travelers' writings of Krishna and Mahabharata, how they have given so many valuable historical data of Krishna, Mahabharata, and so on. Then we discussed about that how the Vedas were aware. So you remember this is, we said that we will cover this topic in some depth in the future sessions. So yes, I'll cover some of this in great depth today. Okay, so this is a very important slide. You see okay, before we go much further, I would request Amoga Prabhu to let me know, like, how many minutes exactly do we have, so that although I have a temperature, I have a health issue going on right now, but since I'm into the session, I really love that I cover as much as possible for the benefit of the people present here. So, how much time do we have exactly, excluding question and answers?
Prabhuji, so this session is for you. So it is based on your comfortability. You can go ahead. We don't have any restrictions for you.
Okay. Thank you so much. So if there's anything, you please let me know so that I'll also, want to complete in a comfortable space for all of you. Okay, great. So the ancient Indian literatures are divided into two sections. One is the Shruti section and the Smriti section. The Shrutis are the Vedas, Upavedas, Vedangas, and the Smritis are the ritual sutras, Tantra, Pancharatra, Purana, Itihasa, and Shantarshana. Now, generally, when we study the historical data, it is found more in the Smriti than in the Shruti. So please understand, I'm giving some very important perspective of how to understand the scriptures and how to decode the historical data given in the scriptures. Generally, our scriptures do not focus on historical data, especially Shruti does not focus on historical data. It doesn't focus at all. Smriti, meanwhile, does focus on historical data. That's why a separate section of Smritis are dedicated for the purpose of recording history as we may know it. But again, that perspective of how they see history is very different from how the Western civilization used to see history. That's why the word history itself is very differently understood compared to the word itihas. Our perspective of history is that it's cyclical, it is cyclic, it will keep repeating. Like the Vedic perspective of itihasa is chakra, Kal Chakra. Everything is chakra, right? Like the day and night is a chakra, the seasons are a chakra, Brahma's day is a chakra, and lifetimes are a chakra, and taking rebirth and going into another lifetime after lifetime into newer and newer bodies is a samsara chakra. So it's all chakra. Everywhere there is chakra. And nakshatra chakra. And nakshatras are coming, rotating in coming back to their position in a cyclic fashion. So cyclical perspective of time is what is very common. Now, to understand this, understand itihasa from the Vedic point of view, and possibly also from an academic point of view, it is very important to understand that we are dealing with a cyclical form of time, not a linear form of time alone. Within the cyclical form, it may appear linear from point A to point B, but overall the perspective is that they see time as cyclical. It's very important to understand that before we go deeper into this topic. So now, when we approach itihas, generally, very important, if you may listen very carefully, is that from an academic point of view, Mahabharata and Krishna are not considered. Some do consider Mahabharata and Krishna as historical, but many do not consider Mahabharata and Krishna as historical, in the sense they believe that never a thing like Mahabharata happened in the past. Many academicians believe that Mahabharata is just a cooked up story which was created at a certain point of time. Many believe that Krishna, as a person, he did not exist. He was imagined at a certain point of time, and people created the idea of Krishna. This is a belief even today many academic people hold, unfortunately. So what I tried to decode the historical position of Krishna and Mahabharata and fixed it and connected with the chronology of the Vedas. And please note the importance of the word chronology. When I speak of chronology, it is basically a sequence. There is this person, and after that we have another person, and after that we have another person. So father, his son, then his son becomes the ruler, and then his son becomes the ruler. So this is basically chronology, sequence of who came after who. So what we find after comprehensive analysis, if you have my book, you could check chapter 2 in great detail. I've covered this particular topic, that the chronology of Veda and the chronology of the Mahabharata coincides at one point, and that point is Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra is a person who is mentioned in the Vedas, direct Vedic sources, and Dhritarashtra is a person who's also mentioned in the Mahabharata. The Vedic sources speak of kings before Dhritarashtra. Mahabharata also speaks of kings before Dhritarashtra. Vedic sources speak of Devaki Putra Krishna. Mahabharata also speaks of Devaki Putra Krishna. Now you might think, oh, Mahabharata is also a Vedic source. It is, but to make you understand from this particular chart's point of view, that when I speak of Vedic sources, I might refer to Samhita, Brahmana, Aranyaka, Upanishad, or the Kalpa, Shiksha, and all these these I would call it as the Vedic sources as of now, just to give you the understanding. The Vedic sources speak of Dhritarashtra, Mahabharata speaks of Dhritarashtra. Vedic sources speak of Krishna, Devakiputra Krishna, Mahabharata speaks of Devakiputra Krishna. Vedic sources do not speak of who came after Pandavas or who came after Krishna. Mahabharata speaks of those who came after Krishna, after Pandavas. So basically, Devakiputra Krishna and Dhritarashtra, these two are mentioned in both sources, in the Vedic source and Mahabharata. So this is the junction point where both these literatures accept the existence of these two personalities. And that's our primary focus, to establish that the Mahabharata of the Dhritarashtra of the Mahabharata is exactly the same of Dhritarashtra is given in the Vedic sources. The Krishna who is mentioned in the Mahabharata, whom we worship as Krishna today, is the same Krishna who's mentioned in the Vedic sources also. So we try to connect and prove that these are same persons. The moment you do that, the chronology of the Mahabharata shifts straight and coincides with the period of when the Vedic sources were compiled. Leave aside the discussion that it is Apaurushaya, it is eternal and all that. So now that discussion is the faith of a follower and a believer that yes, this was Apaurushaya and God gave that and all that. So that leave that discussion out for a while. And from an academic point of view, I'm saying that how the academicians see is that it was compiled at a certain point of time, the Vedas, the Upanishads, the Aranyakas, the Brahmana, Samhita, they at a certain point of time they were brought into existence by somebody wrote it down. So the kings and the personalities mentioned in those sources, they are often given a historical grounding, saying that if this particular king is mentioned, that means that the sources were written during or after the period of that particular king. Simple logic, right? Like if somebody speaks of Mahatma Gandhi in a book, it clearly means that they have been written during the period of Mahatma Gandhi or after the period of Gandhi. Simple. It cannot be written before his period because they are, they're aware of him. Leaving aside the religious and supernatural discussion here, right? So I'm not speaking of that, just from an academic point of view. So therefore, when we try to fix the position of Krishna and Dhritarashtra, Mahabharata, Pandavas, it's important to see how they are connected with the Vedic chronology. Coming now to the main discussion in hand, the Yadavas are extensively mentioned in the Vedic sources. The Rig Veda refers to Yadu Maharaj, and many of these Puranic sources also mention of Yadu Maharaj and the dynasty called what we know as the Yadavas. Often I do presentations and invariably somebody from the Yadava community attends my sessions. So if anybody from the Yadav community who is part of the session, you can do comment that you are part of this session. So basically, Yadav word is very ancient. It's mentioned the Vedic sources also, Puranas also. Now, the Yadavas have migrated at a certain point of time to Dwarka. You all must be aware that the Yadavas, the Yaduvamshis, belong to Braj. They were there in Braj. But at a certain point of time, they shifted to Dwarka. Anybody knows why Krishna and all the Yadavas shifted to Dwarka? Anybody knows?
Because Jarasandha was keep trying to fight with the Krishna and Yadus.
Okay, so Neeraj Prabhu, I think I need to address your question immediately before we proceed. Okay, because
Could you zoom in, Prabhuji? I think we can utilize the screen space and also read properly. Okay.
okay, I didn't get you. You mean to say that I need to show
Zoom in the screen, please.
okay.
Thank you. Yes, Prabhu, we can hear it properly.
So, Neeraj Prabhu, this is a reply to your question. So, in ISKCON, my work has been recognized by the topmost devotees in ISKCON, like Prabhupada disciples, and also many senior GBC level devotees, and also my work is recognized by many temples across India and Europe. Why we are doing this? Why there's a need? Because yes, our focus is definitely on the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, chanting and devotional practice. So, however, Prabhupada also gave extremely high importance to scientific research. If you may be aware that he created something called as the Bhaktivedanta Institute, which was dedicated for scientific and academic research to preach to the academic community and bring them closer to Krishna from a very scientific point of view. So the thing which we are doing right now is, you could say, it is also devotional and also academic. This particular thing which we are doing right now, it's also academic and also it is devotional. Why we say that? Because many times devotees of Krishna, as we see in ISKCON, they are Krishna conscious or connected to Krishna consciousness because at a certain point of time they are inspired by the teachings of Bhagavad Gita or chanting, as you rightly pointed out, reading of Bhagavatam and temple worship. Phenomenal, really great. However, there are members of the family, be it children or maybe the spouse or maybe some extended relative, or even the devotee himself might have some doubts. Most devotees have extreme faith and complete faith on Krishna. However, some devotees also have expressed to me in private that, that their chanting has improved a lot after attending my seminars. Why? Because in their schools and in their education system, they have been brainwashed. Of course, they're not like 10-year, 20-year-old in Krishna consciousness. New devotees, maybe a few years down the line, when they come for bhakti, they say that we always thought that Krishna was real, but he was made into like a divine person, and maybe his activities were exemplified more than what was real. We thought that maybe Krishna actually never existed, and I had a doubt in my mind because I that was one thing which was blocking me to become serious in my bhakti. So I wanted this answer. I was praying to Krishna that he revealed this to me, and through your sessions, I got this conviction that Krishna is a real person who really came, and I got complete faith. And so many of them have told me either their life has transformed or they have used this knowledge to preach to their family members and keep them grounded to Krishna consciousness. What the sessions and seminars and this particular knowledge does is that it helps us ground and connect us to the scriptures and the authenticity of the scriptures. It makes sure that the scriptures are not some kind of as like a mythological or imaginary or fictional description. They are real. These are real factual incidents which are recorded in our scriptures, because the word, let's say Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is part of which book? Anybody knows Bhagavad Gita is part of which book?
Mahabharata, Prabhuji.
Right? Bhagavad Gita is part of Mahabharata. And we are discussing about whether Mahabharata is real or not. Okay, so are we discussing about the authenticity of Bhagavad Gita? Absolutely, yes. One thing. And is Mahabharata part of a genre or category of literature that's called as Itihasa? And what does Itihas mean? Itihasa. Itihasa means thus so happened. So Mahabharata itself, the Mahabharata itself belongs to a category of literature called as Itihasa, which means thus so happened. So they are basically recording what is happening at that point of time, and therefore we are studying the authenticity of what is being said in our scriptures and proving it to anyone. Like if anybody comes and says, "Oh, what is the proof that Krishna really came? What is the proof that your Bhagavad Gita was actually spoken?" Since you are speaking of Bhagavad Gita, I am saying that this seminar is, let's say, it's a historical evidence of Krishna. It's historical evidence of Bhagavad Gita. So this is Krishna consciousness. We are not disaligned from that point of view. And how does this research complement our core practice? It helps us develop our faith. And we also have a session on, for instance, I have a session on Srimad Bhagavatam also, which is a very fascinating session. If you attend that, you will see how Srimad Bhagavatam is grounded to historical data. It's one of the most fantastic scriptures in terms of its historical authenticity. I've done that work. So we're not covering on Bhagavatam today, but we are covering on Mahabharata and Krishna today. So the point what I'm trying to create here is that, yes, please give it a while. Please give it a chance to, listen through it. I think you have not attended the previous session where we did a comprehensive analysis of why this session is important, how it helps and all that. Today's session 2. So I would also request you kindly please check session 1 where you will get a lot of idea. Even if you don't fully get the point in terms of how it could be important, you're welcome to contact me directly as well. So I'm available at your disposal in case if you are wanting to understand this better. So thank you. You gave a thumbs up. I think you're satisfied for now. So coming back to the discussion, the Yadavas shifted to Dwarka because they were constantly being disturbed. I would call the word disturbed by Jarasan. So they shifted to Dwarka. And at a certain point of time, they again came back to Braj. So it's like a cyclical journey of the Yadavas. Chased by Jarasandh and disturbed, rather I would say disturbed by Jarasandh. So Krishna said, okay, let's create a new city of Dwarka. And the entire city of Dwarka was created. Remember, today we are going to cover Dwarka. I promised that we are going to cover Dwarka. We are going to cover Dwarka today in some detail. So you will love it. So the history of Dwarka is beginning with the point when Krishna comes, the Yadavas comes and they establish the city of Dwarka. And at a certain point of time, the Yadavas shift back to North India. They go to Indraprastha, what we know today as Delhi. I'm sitting there. Actually, the place where I'm sitting right now is Indraprastha. Right? So from Braj, from Mathura, they go to Dwarka, and from Dwarka, they go to Indraprastha. In Indraprastha, Arjuna, rather I would say the Pandavas establish Vajranabha. Vajranabha, the great grandson of Krishna, as the king of Indraprastha, Delhi. Imagine the great grandson of Krishna was ruling what we know today as Delhi. And at a certain point of time, after a few thousand years, maybe 1 or 2,000 years, the Yadavas, the descendants of Krishna, migrate back to Braj. This is the cyclical journey of the Yadavas. How do I say that they moved back to Braj? Based on the data given by Megasthenes. Megasthenes says that, in the city of Methura, where the river Jobares is flowing, the Saur Senoi people, the Shaur Sena people used to worship this great personality by the name Heracles, Harikula Isha Shaur Sena. So this is an entire cyclical journey which the Yadavas took. So just a moment, I zoomed. Yeah, okay. So now coming to the very critical discussion of chronological grounding of Krishna, of the Mahabharata, of Pandavas, and grounding them in relationship with the dating of the Vedic sources. You see, the Vedic sources, the dating of the Vedic sources is of course not in line in terms of, like, not every scholar agrees with another scholars in terms of the dating of the Vedas, like when the Vedas was actually written down. Some say the most conservative, the most, I would say, from an academic point of view, the most scholars or academicians say that the Vedas were compiled down for the first time around 3,500 years back. I know it sounds little uh, not so traditional or not so shastric, but that's what the academic perspective is, that the Vedas were written down 3,500 years back, based on the premise that the Aryans invaded into India, which again is not a real thing. Aryans never invaded into India. Aryans were always part of Bharat, India. So this is the general understanding that Aryans invaded into India and they brought the Vedas, and this happened around 3,500 years back. Now, what we have shown in our research is that the first thing is the Aryans never invaded into India; they were here only, and the Vedas were much ancient, more ancient than 4,000 years old minimum. Of course, they are 5,000 and more years old, but we established through the dating of the Saraswati Paleo channel. The Saraswati as a river dried up around 4,000 years. And the Vedas speak of a flowing, a gigantic flowing, large flowing Saraswati river. Okay, so therefore, based on that, we can clearly say this is just one small point. We have done a comprehensive research. So I have a comprehensive seminar on the dating of the Vedas, dating of Mahabharata, dating of uh, one side we have the scriptural data, literature, literary evidence as we call it, and on the other side we have what we call as the archaeological data. So we connect both of them and try to establish the dates. And the dates are clearly not 3,500 years old. It's completely unacceptable and not so scientific. So now coming to the point, from the Vedas, from the Vedic sources, we see that the Ashwalayana Grihya Sutra. Now, what is the Grihya Sutra? The Grihya Sutras, let me just quickly go back to the slide, the previous slide, if you may see here. The Ashwalayana Grihya Sutras were written, thousands of years back, and sometimes in the Vedic sources, we see that people during the Vedic period they were aware of this book called as Mahabharata. The book by the name of Bharat and Mahabharata are mentioned in the Ashwalayana Grihya Sutra. Now, why this is critical? Ashwalayana is a Vedic sage who mentions, about the life during the Vedic period. He mentions that people during this period used to read these two books by the name of Bharat and Mahabharata. Now, what we know as Mahabharata today was previously known as Bharat, then before that it was known as Jai. So Jai became Bharat, Bharat became Mahabharata. And I'm not cooking it up, it is there in Adi Parva, chapter 1 of the Mahabharata itself. That initially it was Jai of 8,800 years old, 8,800 verses. And then it became Bharat, 24,000 verses. And finally it was Mahabharata of 100,000 verses. Is there in Adi Parva, chapter 1, Adi Parva, Mahabharata. So the Vedic sources are telling us that during that period, people were aware of this book called as Bharat and Mahabharata. So there is again some kind of connectivity with the Vedic period as well. When I say Vedic period, it's just from an academic point of view that it's during or before Mahabharata. Not, or even if it's slightly after Mahabharata, not much later after Mahabharata. It's maximum around 108 years. So there's a comprehensive research on the dating of Mahabharata with respect to Vedas and all that. So we hopefully if we have some sessions on that in the future. So now Dhritarashtra is mentioned in the book by the name of Kathaka Samhita. Kathaka Samhita is part of the Yajurveda. And in the Yajurveda, Dhritarashtra is mentioned as the son of Vichitra Virya. Not in Mahabharata, but in Yajurveda. Now, as practicing devotees, it might look like a very trivial and a common information. Oh, so what? Isn't it very common that Dhritarashtra is the son of Vichitravidya? So what? Yes, it's a common thing. But sometimes this common is uncommon for people who may want to complicate it. Right? For instance, Dhritarashtra is when you try to decode the understanding of when Dhritarashtra actually came, right? Whether Mahabharata's Dhritarashtra is same as the Vedic Dhritarashtra, when we try to correlate and compare and try to see if these are two persons. And if you're able to prove that these are two same persons, then what happens clearly is to establish that the Vedas were aware of this person by the name of Dhritarashtra. Now, why this is critical? Generally, from an academic point of view, the Shrutis are given more preference. Now, this is very critical, especially Neeraj Prabhu, you would love to hear this, that the Shrutis are more important from an academic point of view. The academicians and even many of these, I don't want to mention the names, could become controversial, but there's this very famous scholar who keeps verse one, he keeps quoting verses on and from the scriptures from multiple religions. So what he says is the Shrutis are more important than Smritis. Now, of course, he's not that much of an important person that we are countering him. Maybe, may not be. But from a general academic point of view, the understanding is Shruti should be given importance. The Smritis, like the Itihasa, like Mahabharata, Ramayana, the Puranas, cannot be considered as authentic Vedic religion or Hindu religion, as you would like to call it. So, this is an understanding which is very prevalent among the academic community, and therefore it's important to address how our scriptures, especially the Smritis, are connected, intertwined so deeply with the Shrutis. You cannot disconnect them and put down one on the cost of other. I hope you're getting the point. So now, Dhritarashtra is a very critical character in Mahabharata. He's a pivotal person, I would say. No, don't take me wrong from a moral or philosophical or religious point of view. I'm just purely speaking from the chronological and the historical point of view. Dhritarashtra was a very, very important person. He was so important that the Vedas found him so important to mention in the Vedic sources. The Samhitas, if you remember, we covered here, the Samhitas are basically mantras. And in Samhitas, if any king is finding mention, that means he was really important. In the Yajurveda, can you imagine? Rig, Yajur, Sam, and Atharva. That's the sequence. Yajurveda is the second after Rig. The Yajurveda, you find mention of this person by the name Dhritarashtra. Dhritarashtra is mentioned as, so now we'll show you how it is connected. Dhritarashtra is mentioned as the son of Vichitravirya in the Veda. Here also Dhritarashtra is the son of Vichitravirya in the Mahabharata. Dhritarashtra is mentioned as the king of the Kuru dynasty in the Veda. Dhritarashtra is mentioned as the king of the Kuru dynasty in the Mahabharata also. Dhritarashtra is mentioned as the ruler of, Dhritarashtra is mentioned as the Bharatavamshi in the Veda, and Dhritarashtra is mentioned as the Bharatavamshi in the Mahabharata also. So three critical historical data, including the name, if you say, four historical data. So four historical informations clearly show that these are the one and the same persons. Then we try to see if there's any other historical person by the name of Dhritarashtra ever existed in history, anywhere else, any literature, any inscription. No such. So clearly, Mahabharat's Dhritarashtra and the Yajurveda Dhritarashtra are one and same person. It might look so trivial and so common. Why do we need to so complicate this? It's so simple, isn't it? Why don't we just move forward? Devotees often think, why is it so important? It's extremely important because the Shrutis are always given more precedence and importance from the academic community and so-called intellectual community. So they would always want something to be justified from the Shruti point of view than the Smritis. So we are trying to establish that the tradition of Mahabharata, the tradition of Krishna, the tradition of Bhagavad Gita and Pandavas, and they are having a solid historical positioning in relationship with the Vedas, the Shrutis. That's what we are trying to create here. Now, with this, we'll also enter into the historical positioning of Krishna, Devaki Putra Krishna. That will be very fascinating for you. Now, if you may permit, now I have one hand being raised. Shall we address the question immediately and then proceed?
You can decide if you want me to ask, or I can wait. It's okay.
Yeah, you can just maybe throw it around. We'll see if it's answerable in a quick way now. We'll do that. Or
you mentioned Ayurveda. Is it the same like Black Ayurveda? There is a book. What is? I remember I read something about Black Ayurveda. Is it the same as
Black
Katha, Sinita, and
Black Yajurveda means Krishna Yajurveda.
the same?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Perfect. Thank you. So the point is, we need to get it that the historical positioning of our important personalities extremely important to understand that these are having a solid historical positioning. They were not created at a certain point of time. Now, why this is important? Let me quickly go to this previous slide. You see this? This was the common understanding. This is Raymond Squab, British scholar during the colonial period. He says the Indians cannot understand that our religion is the universal religion for the earth and that they can only produce mere fables and fantasies. One. And another thing, one other reason why this is important, I show you. A research paper published around nearly 100 years back in a very prominent Western university, which tries to establish that Krishna consciousness or Krishnaism or Krishna Bhakti as we know it is the later Krishna Bhakti, what we know today as Krishnaism or Krishna Bhakti and so on, that is primarily influenced because of Christianity. Now, how dangerous that is to establish that Krishna and the Krishna Bhakti as we know today, especially what became prominent in the medieval period and beyond, later Krishnaism, so primarily medieval period and later. So this Krishnaism is actually influenced by Christianity. Can you imagine that? There's a kind of research papers were published. So as devotees, we need to have solid arguments to counter this kind of incorrect theories, I would say. So we need to get the point that Krishna is very ancient, not just 2025 years old or 2026 has started. Okay. Krishna is not just started 2000 after 2026 years, or he's not modeled based on Christ, or Krishna Bhakti is not modeled based on Christianity. It could be the other way around, but definitely not, modeled based on Christianity. That particular thing has to be established as well. I hope I make sense, especially devotees who would like to understand, who came for today for the first time. That's why these kind of sessions are extremely important, because these helps us to give a solid historical ground to whatever we are practicing and our culture. So now coming back to this topic, the scriptures, especially Mahabharata and Srimad Bhagavatam, and few other Puranas as well, and inscriptions. There are multiple inscriptions which refer to Krishna as the son of Devaki. Multiple datas after, I'm not speaking of the Vedic sources, scriptures after that, inscriptions after that, Buddhist literature is after that. So many of these literatures, be it Mahabharata or Puranas or inscriptions or Buddhist sources, they all refer to Krishna as the son of Devaki. Okay, this is one data. On the other side, see, there have been few other people by the name of Krishna. So it is important to distinguish that the Krishna mentioned in Chandogya Upanishad. So basically, Chandogya Upanishad refers to one famous Krishna by the name of Devaki Putra Krishna. Now we try to decode whether this Devaki Putra Krishna mentioned in the Chandogya Upanishad. Okay, I'm just creating it again. Devaki Putra Krishna mentioned in the Chandogya Upanishad has to be same as the Devaki Putra Krishna of Mahabharata, whom we worship, right? As Krishna, as in temples across the world, especially in the Vaishnava communities. This Krishna, Devaki Putra Krishna, who is worshipped, is same as the Devaki Putra Krishna mentioned in the Chandogya Upanishad. That establishment is very important to show that Krishna is a very famous person and extremely important that the Vedas have directly mentioned his name. Again, it might look so trivial and isn't that so common? Isn't that so straightforward? It is. But sometimes for those who have complicated it, we need to establish this firmly that this is what it is. So now, the details given in the Yajurveda and the details given in the Mahabharata, we'll try to correlate it. See, the Mahabharata speaks of Krishna as Devaki's son. Perfect. Similarly, Yajurveda also speaks of Krishna as the son of Devaki. Devaki Putra Krishna is mentioned in the Chandogya Upanishad. Now, there are some other historical details which helps us to connect that the Yajurvedic Krishna, the Yajurvedic Devaki Putra Krishna is same as the Mahabharat's Devaki Putra Krishna. The Yajurveda Devaki Putra Krishna is mentioned as learning knowledge from a person by the name of Ghora Angirasa. You're learning someone, you're accepting someone as Guru. So naturally that question comes, oh, Krishna's Guru was not Ghora Angirasa. You know who was the Guru of Krishna?
Sandipani.
Anybody knows who was the Guru of Krishna?
Sandipani.
Sandipani.
Perfect. Yeah, Sandipani Muni was the, just a moment. Sandipani Muni was the Guru of Krishna. Naturally, you might wonder, who is this personality, Ghora Angirasa? Ghora Angirasa, right? So naturally, this question will come, who is this Ghora Angirasa? So the point is that Krishna had multiple gurus. Krishna did not have just one guru. This again might seem controversial or might look like unrealistic and all that, but just a moment. I'm reading out from my book. So Krishna had multiple gurus. Okay, this is established directly from the scriptures only. Krishna had, we all know that he had guru of by the name Sandipana Muni, but he also had other gurus as well. Let me just quickly establish this point here. Okay, great. So in the Chandogya Upanishad, Krishna is having a guru by the name of Ghora Angirasa. Now, when we try to decode in Mahabharata whether there was a sage by the name of Ghora Angirasa during the period of Mahabharata, there was. There
Prabhu,
was a yes.
sorry, Prabhu. You know that there's also mention about Sandipani, and we see in that movie that he handed over the chakra to Krishna. What is all that? I mean, did somebody give them the chakra to Krishna and all that? We see that in the movie, it's shown like that.
Yeah, we'll come to that. I mean, we are now doing historical positioning of Sandipani Muni and Krishna and all that. So I will answer that. Please give me a while. Okay, so what we find now is that, Krishna as a personality is mentioned in the Vedas and also he is mentioned in the Yajurveda and also to be specific, he is mentioned in the Chandogya Upanishad and also he is mentioned in the Mahabharata. So we try to connect the Ghora Angirasa and the Ghora Angirasa of Mahabharata, Devaki Putra Krishna, Devaki Putra Krishna. And it is also mentioned in Mahabharata that Krishna actually taken Diksha from another guru, not Sandipani Muni. So Krishna himself had multiple gurus during the Mahabharata period, mentioned in the Smritis directly. So clearly goes to show that Krishna had multiple gurus, and Gaura Angirasa could have been one more guru of Krishna. So this goes to show, and why I'm saying that Devaki Putra Krishna of the Yajurveda is same as the Devaki Putra Krishna of Mahabharata. Why? Because in the entire historical record, there's only one female or one female personality or one woman, if we can call her that way. Only one person by the name of Devaki, and that is the mother of Krishna. No other person, was by that name. right? So this clearly goes to show that this is the fact that Krishna's historical positioning is established directly from Vedas. So whenever Vedas were written down, that time people knew about Krishna. That's what I'm trying to create here. So leaving aside the point that Aparushya, that it is coming from God and all that, from an academic point of view also, it can be clearly established that people during the time when the Vedas were written down, at that point as well, people knew about Krishna. They knew clearly about Mahabharata. They knew clearly about Dhritarashtra and the Pandavas, Kauravas, and so on. It's very well evident. Whereas the Vedic sources do not know much about Parikshit and Vajranab and all. They don't know. They don't. They know. They know. But in the context, I'm saying that they did not write about it because it may not have been contemporary. Again, I'm saying this is not a devotional understanding. This is an academic point of view. We're countering from the same academic point of view that, it's clear that chronologically, Krishna is grounded. Again, that word is again could be controversial. I would say Krishna is uh, can be historically understood to be at the same point of time when the Vedas were written down. Simple, very simple stuff. So apart from that, Devapi and Shantanu are mentioned in the Rig Veda, ancestors of Pandavas. They are mentioned and they are exactly the same persons mentioned in the Mahabharata also. I did a comprehensive historical analysis of these two persons and then connected with Devapi and Shantanu of Mahabharata. Comprehensive analysis. Like it goes into multiple pages. So what we are trying to do here is that we have to understand that these are not mythological or fictional literatures, the Mahabharata, especially Mahabharata and Bhagavad Gita as part of Mahabharata. They are not fictional literatures written at a certain point of time which have no historical basis. That's not the fact. They are real literatures having a real historical data. So now, going further in today's session, you remember we covered about the Buddhist sources. The Buddhist sources are filled with descriptions of Krishna and Mahabharata. Of course, not from a devotional point of view, but if you see from a historical point of view, they are very critical data. Why? Because it establishes the position of Mahabharata and Krishna before the Buddhist period. Again, you might wonder, isn't that common? Isn't that trivial? Isn't that so simple to understand? Yes, it is. Sometimes people position the Mahabharata to just 1,000 years old. Can you imagine that many people believe that Mahabharata is just 1,000 years old? Why? The logic given is, oh, the world's oldest manuscript of Mahabharata is just 1,000 years old. So Mahabharata must be 1,000 years old. It's like saying that I have a book of Shakespeare's novels. For example, I have a book, which was written by Shakespeare, and this particular book is printed around 2 years back. So Shakespeare existed 2 years back. That's the kind of logic people had. Many academicians still have that, that the manuscript is just 1,000 years old. So therefore, the literature must have been written a little while ago, just a little while ago. It cannot be so ancient, like 3, 4,000, 5,000 years old. No, it has to be little before. So that's the logic we are countering here to show that Krishna, Mahabharat, Pandavas, Yadavas, all these personalities were well mentioned across literatures, across inscriptions. Neeraj Prabhu, you missed a fantastic analysis of the Panchavira Vrishni, the 5 Vrishnis which we covered on the Mora site. The 5 Vrishnis are a comprehensive analysis we did about. Many of you, you might remember the Moraville inscription, the inscription which refers to the 5 Vrishnis. All right, so you can also feel free to give an emoji if you remember that. So the 5 Vrishnis are very famously worshipped across Braj and across other parts of India. The 5 Vrishnis were Balram, Vasudeva Krishna, Pradyumna, Samba, and Aniruddha. Again, this is purely devotional. When we try to understand the history of Krishna, it's a very devotional thing. So the Buddhist literatures are filled with descriptions of Krishna, which helps us to understand that Krishna's history is before Buddhist period. And the understanding from the Vedic when we decode the Vedic scriptures, we see that it is contemporary to the time when the Vedas were compiled. So that helps us to make it pre-Buddhist and compile at the fag end of, the Vedas were about to be compiled or being compiled or completing compilation. At that time, the Mahabharata is also happening, and the Vedic sources have completed compilation. I mean to say the Shruti part, and parallelly we have the Mahabharata being written down in the form of Jai, Bharat, and Mahabharata. So like that, there's a common chronological point of view, and there is also a chronology after the Vedic sources have stopped. Much part of it have stopped compilation, and Mahabharata's compilation is still going on. It's important to understand this. Okay, so we spoke about the historical lineage of Krishna, if you remember. We will cover this hopefully in the next session in great depth. Somehow, I don't know, I had a very poor throat. I was not even able to speak one line for the whole day today, and I'm still continuing for 1 hour with full energy. It's like 2:53 a.m. in the morning here in India, and I'm still full of energy, because the moment we start speaking of Krishna's history, his background, time just passes by and energy comes, he empowers us to speak. So I'm so happy that I'm able to do this today. This is the world's most ancient cave paintings of Krishna, especially for those who have come today for the first time. This is world's most ancient depiction of Krishna, Balram, and a female deity. What we know today as Jagannath, Baldev, and Subhadra. World's most ancient cave painting. Isn't that fascinating? Isn't this fascinating? Isn't this, inspiring us in our devotional life? That how old is Krishna's worship going on for thousands and thousands of years? It was not created at a certain point of time. That's what we're trying to say. It is not something which was imagined by somebody got it, or some antennas standing on one end, and they decide, oh, okay, let me create this personality by the name of Krishna so that we can influence the mass of people and keep them controlled and manipulated. That's not the point. The point is they're actual historical persons. Krishna, Balram, Pandavas, Dhritarashtra. They're actual historical personalities. They existed. They existed. They had their physical presence on this planet, which has been recorded. We have the Pratyaksha Praman for it. The scriptures are considered Shabda Praman. This is such a fascinating thing that compared to many other personalities, be it you could say like the different avatars, the different among the various avatars of the Lord, this particular form of Krishna is the most historically traceable form. From an historical point of view, he has the most amazing records which you can find ever of any other personality. And therefore, I'm so blessed to work on decoding and understanding his history, where his divine steps were, placed on this planet, where he did his amazing leelas, where he did his various pastimes. That's again a historical analysis, and again, it's very devotional the way we try to understand, how the various leelas happened. So we saw about the Moravell inscription, the five Vrishnis. The five Vrishnis are mentioned. So this is the project that we are going to do. Amoga Prabhu, how much exact time do we have? We are going to start Dwarka.
Yeah, how you go, Prabhuji? So we are with you.
Okay, I'll try to cover it hopefully within 15-20 minutes. This is the most fascinating section. We are entering into Dwarka. Actually, we're gonna you can be in that space that we are entering Dwarka, the great city of Dwarka, which Krishna himself, created. Beautiful description, beautiful history of this great city. We will be decoding that from a historical and scientific point of view. So this is the Moravell inscription. The Moravil inscription is a 2,200-year-old inscription which refers to the Panchapeet of Vrishni. Now, this is the site which we are decoding. Now, another answer which Neeraj Prabhu, based on your question, I would like to address here. Something's coming in my mind right now. I said how this is a devotional activity. I'll tell you how. Because how this is going to help us also devotionally. These are all historical artifacts of Krishna, of the Yadavas, of the Vrishnis that we are going to locate and map and preserve. Don't we, as devotees, want the actual historical sites, the temples, which were demolished at a certain point of time? Don't we want that it be preserved? Don't we want that the heritage, which is continued for thousands of years, which was lost at a certain point of time, don't we want that it be revived? Right? So how that is devotional? I can also show this one thing I could have done actually. The last session, if you all remember, we had a beginning from Chaitanya Charitamrita. Remember, most of you might remember that we started with Chaitanya Charitamrita. Just a moment.
Uddhara.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, we saw about Uddhara. So, okay, I'm opening that exact verse here. I am screen sharing. I'm going to change it to full screen. Okay, here we go. Neeraj Prabhu, if you love to see this. This is database. Okay, then you go to database and search for excavate. And then you go to Chaitanya Charitamrita. You see there are multiple verses where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly instructs the six Goswamis, Sanatan Goswami. He says, when you go to Vrindavan, stay there, preach transcendental literature and excavate. See that word, excavate the lost holy places. So what we are doing is actually a devotional activity because it is something which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted. He wanted his Leela Stalis, Krishna's Leela Stalis, to be preserved. That's why we have Radha Kund, Shyam Kund and many other of these historical sites, because you know that the kind of invasions which India had faced, we had lost so many of these very amazing historical sites of Krishna. Now that's where history and bhakti, collide, or I would say correlate or connect to each other. So they are intertwined and interconnected. We cannot separate them both. Vaishnavism has a history, and the history has Vaishnavism. I'm repeating it again. Vaishnavism has a history, and history has Vaishnavism. How can we separate both? That's why Mahabharata is called as Itihasa. Itihasa means thus so happened. Now, coming to this point, there are multiple instructions of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu where he directly informs and instructs Sanatan Goswami. You see one more verse from Matilila. He says, "O Sanatan, you should broadcast the revealed scriptures on devotional service and excavate." Again, the same word, excavate, the lost places of pilgrimage in the district of Mathura. I have taken these shlokas to my heart, that my desire and I consider this as my life's purpose, that I will fulfill this desire of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And again, this could be very audacious and daring and arrogant, if to say that I am so great. I'm not considering that way. What I'm trying to say is that I want to be a servant of service in this particular mission of excavating the lost places of pilgrimage by using the most advanced technologies. Combine that with literature, culture, folk, decode the history of the places, identify them, bring them out, and be instrumental in excavations in collaboration with the government of India, government of Uttar Pradesh. Bring them out and make sure that we create the Braj Heritage Circuit. That's my vision, Braj Heritage Circuit. Anybody on this planet, they want to know what is the history of Krishna, who is Krishna, what pastimes he did, where he lived. Those places are not in a good condition right now. Can you imagine that India is losing hundreds of historical sites every single year. Every single year. The Archaeological Survey of India has nearly 3,700 monuments, and they do not have enough people to take care of it. That's where government has now realized the importance of private parties. This after 75 years of independence from the British, the first time this government has announced that we are opening the archaeological sites for private parties to come in and do the conservation. First time. So it's a great opportunity for our organization and organization like us. And now coming to the point of ISKCON, ISKCON is also interested to sign an MOU with our organization. ISKCON, we are signing an MOU with ISKCON, and we are ISKCON's, you could say we are going to be very soon, maybe in a matter of a month or two, we are going to be ISKCON's official heritage partner. ISKCON, whenever it wants to work on Kurukshetra or Ayodhya or Braj, we are the partners who have ground experience on how to find sites, map them, restore them, and all that. So that's where this is a devotional activity. So coming back to our session today, final part, the most exciting part on Dwarka. I mean, whenever I speak of Dwarka, I feel so excited that I literally feel that I'm going underwater and seeing Krishna's beautiful, remains of the beautiful sights of Krishna and all that. So this is the Mora well. Let's cover Mora quickly. So this is the Mora well inscription, which refers to the five Vrishnis. Then as I kept traveling all over India in my journey searching for Krishna's history, I found this very interesting panel, which is called as the Kondamutu panel. It's found in Guntur district, Andhra Pradesh. So the Kondamutu panel has the five Vrishnis carved in the form of statues. And in the middle, we have the Narasimha deity, Narasimha, and the five Vrishnis are here. And then when I try to decode who these five Vrishnis are, they are Sankrishna, Vasudeva, Pradyumna, Samba, and Aniruddha, mentioned in the Vayu Puran. So can you see what is mentioned in an inscription is found in the form of a statue somewhere else south of India, and that is understandable and decodable from Vayu Puran. So it is a three-way confirmation of a same personalities. Panchavira Vrishni. Right? So this is that place. I'll show that place as well. So Panchavira Vrishnis are a very, very, very extremely important. I'll not do window sharing. I'll do screen sharing. You know why? Because otherwise, every time I have to stop screen sharing and open it. So I'm opening here. Panchavira Vrishni worship. Panchavira Vrishni. Okay, so exactly Mora village Vrindavan. When you search for that, you will see that there is this village. Can you see here? This is the village where we are going to do the mapping. This village, inside this village, there is a well, and this inscription which I just showed you, Mora well inscription, is found inside a well in this village. And you see how close this is to Vrindavan. It's exactly between Vrindavan and Vrindavan is here. This is Vrindavan. And when you come from Vrindavan, you go to Chatikara. From Chatikara Junction, you go in the Govardhan Road. While going in the Govardhan Road, you turn left. Then you get this village called as Tosh. And after that, you get the village Mora. Or if you go straight, you will go and get Radhakund, Shamkund, and Govardhan Parvat. Mora is a fascinating historical village which has recorded evidences of Panchavira Vrishni, the five Vrishnis. And Tosh, the name of Tosh is mentioned in an inscription found in Mathura. In Mathura, in a temple, 2000-year-old inscription refers to the village Tosh, and it is said that Krishna was worshipped in Tosh. So our idea is to do a comprehensive mapping of Mora and Tosh and find out the Panchavira Vrishni worship evidence in this particular village, these two villages primarily. And when we do that, you might see that there are a lot of potential clusters which we can find, especially around this region and also around this region and around the Hanuman temple here and possibly here as well. So a lot of historical sites are possible through geospatial mapping. So that we are planning to do in the land of Braj, specifically in the land of Mora and Tosh. So now coming back to our topic in hand, we'll go straight to Dwarka. This is the section which many of you are so excited to hear. Even the last session, some of you were a little sad that this topic could not be covered. So here we are, the city of Dwarka. I have whatever remaining juice I have from the energy which I have left, I'll try to complete this comprehensively at least so that there's some fulfillment that you covered the city of Dwarka. So this is a research which happened in the 1990s. In the 1990s, the National Institute of Oceanography did a comprehensive underwater mapping of archaeological sites near Dwarka. And when they did so, they found a lot of evidences of ancient civilizations. Now you see the shaded portion here. You see I'm moving the mouse here. This shaded portion here, I'll zoom it for you. See the shaded portion? Near Dwarka, we have this shaded portion. This is the current city of Dwarka. When you zoom out, then you see here. You see here also we have, near Beit Dwarka, we have two shaded portions. One shaded portion is underwater and one shaded portion is on the island of Beit Dwarka. So what does the shaded portion mean? The shaded portion basically means excavations have happened only in these places. Rest of the places excavations have not happened. Now, coming to the conclusion of what was found in this region in the 1990s, you'll be so amazed to see that when a subsurface underwater, to be specific, let's say when an underwater mapping of Dwarka happened, these are the different points 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which you can see here. These are different points where archaeological sites were found. And some photos of that. And when you do a comprehensive mapping of these archaeological sites, this is from the works of the renowned archaeologist Dr. S.R. Rao. Fantastic personality. So Dr. S.R. Rao's research clearly establishes that there was a civilization which was submerged. A civilization got submerged and it is underwater now. And this civilization's artifacts could be mapped in this way. Can you see this? These are the underwater finds and this is how they look. Among the tons of historical information which we could study, and I mean, I have a complete 1 hour session on Dwarka. So you can imagine the kind of depth and the kind of, variety and quality of the information which we have on Dwarka. It's huge. But considering that not everybody has time to listen, in great depth, so we have collected few very important points which we are covering now. And one of them is Maha Kacha Sa Apaha. This is a very fascinating inscription. Imagine this, I have a glass in my hand. Imagine this is a jar, okay? Jar, jar. I have a jar in my hand and I'm doing worship or I'm using it for a ritualistic purpose. This jar is made up of terracotta material, for example. And I am inscribing on that jar the name of the deity to whom I am offering, doing the puja. Got it? Simple, right? Easy to understand, right? Easy to understand. So a fragment of this jar is found underwater. And in that fragment, what is mentioned is this one, Mahakacha Sa Apaha. You might, what exactly is Mahakachasa Apaha? I covered this in some very basic way last session because we didn't have time. So in the Bhagavad Gita, it is described Bhumerapo Nalo Vayu. You must have heard this shloka. Bhumerapo Nalo Vayu. So Bhume means, okay, fast. Okay, if you can reply, what is Bhumi?
Earth.
Earth. Apo.
Water.
Nalo, Analo.
Fire.
Vayu is clear. Okay, Vayu is air. So this particular Apaha you can see here is basically water. Now you may say, oh, what is the big information? Oh, water. And Dwarka is anyway is inside. Dwarka is an island in the sea. It was called as Vari Durga. One of the names of Dwarka was Vari Durga, which means a fort or a citadel in the mid of water or ocean. That's why it was called as Vari Durga. Durga means fort, you must be aware, right? So Dwarka was also called as Vari Durga. Now this particular inscription refers to Apaha, means water. Mahakachasa Apaha. What does it mean? Mahakachasa Apaha means, right, I'll decode that in the coming slides. So basically it is a fragment of a shloka which is glorifying the god of Apaha. Fragment of a shloka which is glorifying the god of Apaha. Apaha means water. Who is the god of water?
Samudra. Varuna.
Varunadev.
Varun Dev, yes, Varuna.
And also, sir, Mahakacha is the tortoise, Maha great tortoise as well, Prabhuji. So, okay.
Kacha can also be called that way, but generally Kacha is considered from a point of view that it's a small piece of land or a piece of land. Maha Kacha Sa Apaha. That, oh, you may protect this piece of land. In Tamil Nadu, south of Tamil Nadu, there is an island by the name of Kachativ. Kachativ. So, yes, and Kutch. Kutch is also a region in Gujarat today. Right? So, Kacha. Maha Kacha Sa Apaha. Now, the thing is that this is part of a shloka which refers to worship of Varun Dev. Why this is important is because in the Mahabharata, there is a beautiful connection to this. Okay. Okay, let me quickly go. Yeah, Mahabharata implies that the sea god is protecting the seas. Okay, this is one understanding. Mahabharata says that the sea gods, Varun Devta, is protecting the seas. Natural, because he's a lord of the seas, a lord of the water. Mahabharata says the illustrious Varuna began to duly protect seas, lakes, rivers, and other reservoirs of water. Mahabharata also says that the western direction is the favorite of the sea god Varuna. And the Mahabharata says, for ruling over all aquatic creatures and for the protection of the water themselves, illustrious and the divine Kashyapa installed Varuna here. When I say here, in the western region, Dwarka. Do you get the point? Varun worship was very prominent in Dwarka as per Mahabharata. Varun worship was prominent in Mahabharata, prominent in Dwarka, sorry. As mentioned in Mahabharata, the Mahabharata says Varun Dev worship was very prominent in Dwarka, and that is what is found underwater. Do you get the point? So this tradition of Varuna worship, and now it in some point of time, the worship of Samudra Narayan became more prominent, or I would say it is what the worship right now. I don't know whether Samudra Narayan worship existed during the times of Mahabharata, may or may not be, but currently in Dwarka, in and around surrounding areas, we have more of Samudra Narayan worship rather than Varuna worship. But the point is, Varuna worship was very prominent there during the times of Krishna, as mentioned in the Mahabharata. And the evidence of that is found from an archaeological point of view in this inscription, Mahakachasa Apaha. So, what does it goes to show? It goes to show, like for example, in writings of Amara Sinha and other lexicographers also we can see that Mahakachasapaha is used in the sense of referring to the sea god Varuna, right? And Mahakacha also is understood from the point of landmass which is having vast shores. Again, this is an answer to you, Amoga Prabhu, right? And Dr. S.R. Rao interprets the inscription as an appeal by the offerer seeking the protection of the sea god. And this is critical. Why would someone in Dwarka pray to the sea god Varuna for protection? Any guesses? Why would somebody pray to Varuna? Oh, Varuna, please protect us. Krishna is there. Krishna will protect. Why you need to pray to Varuna? Any guesses?
To protect Dwarka?
Exactly. Dwarka is situated in the mid of ocean, Varidura. And Dwarka could anytime be swallowed by the sea. Which is a fact. It's a very tumultuous region even from a geological and archaeological point of view. The entire region of west coast of Gujarat is very unstable in terms of, especially in the coastal lands are not so stable for having a good civilizational landscape. But this is Krishna's pastime, Krishna's desire. He wanted a place where he would do his leelas, and after his leelas are done, he would get off with that place, and that is perfectly Dwarka. So amazing it is. See how history and Krishna's leelas are connected so intricately. The geological history of that region, the archaeology of that region is connected to what is there in the Mahabharata. It's so clear, it's so straightforward, right? So now this particular inscription, Mahakachasapaha, is one of the most fascinating details to establish that Mahabharata does not speak of any imaginary or fictional thing. It is a real city which existed, and this real city got submerged at a certain point of time. Now, there are many other historical details of Dwarka which I can cover in great depth. The inscriptions, the coins, so many details. How much, probably you might have to do a Shivaratri or a Mahashivratri to understand the complete history of Krishna, which we are not going to put you into trouble. So, but just creating the context that Krishna's history is so amazing that when you try to understand it, you see that it's so intricately connected with the reality. It is not an imaginary thing which was created at a certain point of time. So now coming to the final section, we also have one ID card thing which I think I didn't cover it today. Please remind me, Amoga Prabhu. I'll try to cover that in the next section. Proof of seals found in the Indus Valley civilization near Dwarka. It establishes Mahabharat's perspective. Mahabharat says that whenever you come inside and go out of Dwarka, you must show proof like an ID card, like a seals, a mudra. Those kind of mudras are actually found in archaeology, which I didn't cover today, which I hopefully will cover. Beautiful historical data. So now coming to the final section, I have like 5-10 minutes. I'll quickly complete it. So much of history, so much of heritage is still buried, still not excavated. And from me being, connected to spirituality and teachings of Krishna, I find this so appalling that we have not preserved the history of Krishna. Leave aside the history of Bharat as a whole. So much work is to be done. And if we do not take action, we might lose it forever. And that loss might be more painful than what the invaders gave us. The pain which the invaders gave. in terms of destroying the heritage, destroying Krishna's historical sites, So preservation is extremely important. And for preservation, the most important thing is mapping. Without doing mapping, you're not going to get an idea of what to preserve. Somebody will construct something or it will eventually get destroyed. So we discussed about continuous civilization. I'm not going to cover that. It's a very detailed topic from the point of view of Braj. But in short, we need to understand that over 90% of ancient India is still not excavated. This is according to archaeologists from all over the world who believe that India is still buried. Most of India is still not excavated. That's why our vision is in the first year we do documentation and foundation, baseline mapping using LiDAR, GIS, and routes, archive the oral history, manuscript research, temple record, and finally build the Braj digital heritage record and launch community seva all over the world, inspire people. Imagine Braj is going to stand back on its own feet. This is what we are envisioning. Of course, Braj is already on its own feet. I'm saying purely from a historical point of view that the heritage of Braj gets back on its ancient glory. And that will happen through geospatial mapping. This technology has the potential to do a subsurface mapping. And I'm blessed and humble to inform you that I'm one of India's renowned historians who has worked more than 10 years now. It's more than 10 years. I had a very good career as a software engineer. I've spent more than 10 years in documenting all the historical data possible of Krishna, and many of which are given in my best-selling book, Mahabharat Myth or History. This is the book, Mahabharat Myth or History. It's available on Amazon India as well. Vipin Vihari Prabhu also likes to show a copy here if you want to see on the screen. So, this is the world's most comprehensive research work on historical evidence of Krishna and Mahabharata. So, my intention is enough with all the damage which we have faced in terms of the history of the Lord, history of Krishna, history of Braj, history of Bharat. We need to get it back. We need to get this back in order, and that's my life's mission. I am not moving back an inch unless the history of this land is restored. And I know it's not possible. It may not be possible during my lifetime. Totally fine. But I will begin this, movement, which will eventually, at least by the end of the century, completely restore the country's heritage, so that for generations to come, this will be preserved. For that, mapping is extremely important. This mapping is a technology which we have gained a lot of expertise on. And Indian Space Research Organization, the premier institution for geospatial data, satellites, they are willing to help us as well. Experts from that organization are also willing to help us. And we have experts from IIT, Indian Institute of Technology, premier institution, which has expertise on mapping. So they're going to help us from the technical and technological point of view to locate what sites are below. See, the point is, again, how this could be devotional. This could be an ancient temple. For example, when you do the mapping from top, it may be an ancient temple which you don't even know. It is there below. That particular temple you could see from top. This technology is called space archaeology. It is like an X-ray from the sky. I'm repeating, it's like an X-ray from the sky. When you do X-ray, your hair or hair on your body or the skin, the flesh, they may not be visible, but the bones are visible. Similarly, when you do the space archaeology, you may not see the sand and this and that, all the natural stuffs, but you might see a historical structure that you can see. The potential of it, the cluster of it, the traces of it, you can see from top. This is the same technology which has helped identify 17 buried pyramids in Egypt. 17 pyramids which were not previously visible were identified using this technology. And imagine the prospect when entire Braj will be mapped from top. On one side, we have the geospatial mapping. On the other side, we have the writings of Rupa Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Vallabhacharya, cultural data, folk data, inscriptions. We have expertise in both these areas, and we do comprehensive mapping both from scientific point of view and also from the point of view of the culture. Combine them both and create the Braj Digital Heritage Record. And once we have the data of all the heritage sites of Braj, we build the infrastructure. So it's in short, the year one is about mapping, year two is about interpretation and awareness, year three is about conservation, community development, training local youth, adopting heritage sites, cleaning the kunds and parikrama programs and all that. Year four is integration, tourism circular development, and year five is about global recognition by UNESCO and ICCR and the virtual Braj Museum. So this is basically, what we are doing. So we are not planning to do the complete project ourselves. Yes, we are going to do the complete project ourselves, but there will be a lot of partners involved in it, like IIT, like School of Planning and Architecture, New Delhi, which is a premier institution for cultural mapping, any kind of planning. They are experts in that, so they're also likely to be part of it very soon. We're going to sign an MOU with them. So the point is, it's going to be a collaborative effort of multiple institutions. The only thing what we are looking for right now, it's very simple, very straightforward, and very achievable, which is that we are doing a small mapping, a small area of Mora and Tosh. If you remember, we discussed about Mora and Tosh earlier, right? We are planning to do a mapping of this village by the name of Mora. You see, when I type Mora, you can immediately see coins and inscriptions found and statues, deities. You touch this place, you will find history. And the fantastic thing is it's not crowded. Not many people are living here, so it's very easy to do any kind of research here. So we have very strategically selected this area, which already has tons of historical data in this place. So the mapping which we will do will pretty much locate this entire, do like an X-ray from the sky to make your. So this technology will help you see what is below. Then we also do GPR and also do coring. Coring is a technology by which you get the date of the site without excavation. So we have this picture. This report of cultural and archaeological mapping. This report is what we are planning to publish. That's all. We are not planning to do entire Braj. Entire Braj is easily $3, $4, $5 million. Exactly how much it is, we will work it out. But anywhere between $3 to $5 million. We are not planning to raise funds for that big project. It's not possible. At least in current scenario which we are right now. What we are planning is a very small project of around 35,000 US dollars of mapping these two villages alone, Mora and Tosh. That's all it is. Do a mapping of these villages, find out what is below, and give that report to the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh. We have a meeting coming up with him. And before that meeting, we want to get this report ready. So we are in a great hurry. Generally, I don't do sessions so early in the morning, like 2 a.m. and I joined at 1:30 a.m. But I'm in such an urgency right now in spite of my health and whatever I'm going through. I'm willing to aggressively speak with as many people as possible about the importance of this project and get this project moving. Once we get this project successfully done, it's easy to convince the government to give the funding for the entire project. Now, so we could go to some corporates and, like 5 to 10 corporates coming together and sponsoring. It's all possible, but everybody needs some kind of proof from Braj what is possible below. And this land has this Mora and Tosh is a fantastic archaeological place. It has the Moraville inscription. It has evidence of deities. It has evidences of coins. It has evidence of the Panchavira Vrishni temple, which is below, still below. This is what we need to find. And you see, I'm not going to some area which I'm not sure whether there is something or not. It's like I'm not just playing around. Okay, we'll raise some funds and Just we will apply our geospatial mapping and see if there is something or not. We'll try exploring it. No, it's not. It's very focused on Mora and Tosh because this place has data. This place has those ancient historical sites, and we know for absolute surety we know that that is because inscriptions refer to the worship of Panchavira Vrishni in this place, and therefore this is the place to do mapping. And with a very small budget of around 35,000 US dollars, I guess it's around 33,000 pounds, British pounds. That's all it is. It's a very small, achievable project. I know I can raise funding for it if I give it enough time. Like I can go and meet some big corporates here in India. We are trying for that as well, but it takes time. It takes time. Like, easily any corporate funded project takes easily minimum of 3-4 months and maximum 6 months, and even goes up till 8-9 months. And worst case, it goes even up to a year just to meet the main guy, convince him, and get the funds. So we are running against time. So we are therefore aggressively trying to do as many sessions as possible and create awareness about the importance of Bharat's history coming off. And I have to track record in terms of my book and what I've done for so many years. So that's all the project is all about. So I conclude here. I hope I have answered, you know, uh, all your questions. And anyone has any before I think Jay Prabhu is leaving. If you want to have anything, questions all before you want to leave, you can also feel free to ask. Or if you have anything to say, you can also let me. And if anybody else has any questions, comments, or say, please let me know.
No questions, Prabhuji. It's really beautiful to know more about this, and we're looking forward to that and wish you very, very best of luck, Prabhuji. And we're really curious about your research work. So, and then, yeah, I definitely wanted to read the book, your book, and then, yeah, it's really fascinating to see all this history, the proofs, and then you're really correct in terms of how much history we have and how much we lost, how much we can preserve. So the more we preserve, the best, the better for the future. And you guys are doing really, really good, I would say, in terms of that. So not many were involved in this. So we're happy to support as well in case in future, if any support needed or something like that, we can spread the word or give hands in it. And then, uh, anything if it's related to the funding or sharing information or anything, something like that, we are really happy to support Prabhuji, and it's really a fantastic session.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it. Vipin Bihari Prabhu or Amoga Prabhu, you would like to say something before we conclude?
Again, thank you, Prabhu, for coming out this evening here in the UK, but very early in the morning in India, despite not feeling well. I mean, we can see how serious and passionate you are about this project, and I would ask and request all devotees here to try to spread this word and try to share. We've got an introductory video which I have shared in the group chat. I think yesterday or this morning, but it's there. I can send it again. So please share it to as many devotees as you can. As I mentioned last week, if we reach a big pool, a large pool of devotees or devotees or non-devotees or anyone who is interested in helping, the more we get, the more we reach out, the more support we will get. I mean, from my side, definitely I'm helping because Vrindavan is very dear to me, and looking at the project, I mean, I sometimes I feel very pained to see that the archaeological sites in India haven't been restored as much as they were. I mean, recently I was I went to Radhadesh. Just a very quick example. I went to Radhadesh, and then there's a small village there, a small village called Weris. Maybe devotees know about it. And there are some stones who had been kept intact for centuries. And I went there to this on top of the hill. I went for a walk, for Japa walk, and it was deep in the forest. And on top of the hill, there was those stones kept and they have preserved it. It's just stones, but they have preserved it in such a beautiful way with all the inscriptions, all the descriptions there. But unfortunately, India is the birthplace of humanity, is the birthplace of Sanatana Dharma. Unfortunately, it hasn't been kept the way it should be. So it is a chance. It is a chance now. I mean, the Goswamis have helped us so much. If the Goswami were not there, we wouldn't have those temples standing nowadays in Braj. And this is a chance for us to be part of that bandwagon, to be part of that group of great devotees as the Goswamis, to help and excavate those lost places. And we are actually very fortunate to have somebody who is very dedicated, very experienced, and extreme vast amount of knowledge in those areas. Any devotee within our movement who is willing to undertake such a project. So I think we should not lose this chance to be part of this. What Mahaprabhu instructed to the Goswamis, as we could see earlier, Sanatana Goswami were given the direct instruction by Mahaprabhu to go and excavate those sites. If we are part of this project, for me personally, it would be like we are with Mahaprabhu, following directly his instructions. I mean, even though we can't go there directly and be there physically to help with this project, Prabhu is there, and as you can see, he's devoted so much time and energy. Even, I mean, this evening he has come out, even not being very well. So if we can help and try to be part of this great project, which will be there as a legacy, not for us, but for the generations to come. So please try to help if you can, and share the word. Share the word to as many devotees as possible. Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah, and thank you again, Chakrani Prani Prabhu, for coming this evening.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Dear devotees, if you got any comments or any questions, Sadhvi Mataji, you wanted to. Hare Krishna, Sadhvi Mataji.
I have not raised my hand.
You want to ask any questions, Mataji?
I look for the book to see if I can buy the book at the same time while I'm listening. Unfortunately, this book is not available in Amazon Scandinavian, so will it be in there also?
Yeah, if you want this book, you can visit the website. There is a option for buying from abroad. Generally, I have it only on Amazon India. In case if somebody wants from outside, you can just go to his website and www.historica.org. You can go to this website, and there is a section on contact us section. You can just put a message there, or you can always get my number from Amok Prabhu or Vipin Vihari Prabhu, and I can also send this book across directly as well. Yeah, so that's possible, because what happens is the Western, like the European and American Amazons, they charge some kind of a rental just to use their services, whereas the Indian Amazon is free, and I don't have much sales happening outside India. It's mostly massively sold in India. We have sold around 10,000 copies so far in India.
Thank you.
So yeah, so that's why I can help you out in case if you can just message me, and possibly through the website if you can get my number. So I can tell you how to purchase this book.
Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. Sanchita Mataji, you wanted to.
Hare Krishna Prabhu, thank you so much, like in spite of your health, coming and speaking for such a length, and we understand how passionate you are about this. You know, one of the slides you shown about the jar, you know, where the inscription was there, Mahakacha Sa Apeya,
Mahakacha Sapa.
Sapa, yeah. So, which language was it, like, during that time used? Did you do research on that?
See, the language, when you speak, when you say of the language, really the script which you read, it might confuse you. Then how do you say that this is Maha, this is Kacha, this is Apaha? Which language is it? How do you say this is Sanskrit? How do you make it a shloka? You're cooking it up. You're not saying you're cooking it up, but people generally have this doubt. How do you say this is the connecting to Mahabharata? So this has been decoded by Dr. S.R. Rao, the exact person who brought it out from the sea. So he decodes it as belonging to the late Indus script. So Indus script, they call it that way. I rather should call it the Sindhu Saraswati script. See, languages have script. It's not that scripts are important, languages are more important. Now, this might sound very trivial and very straightforward, but I'll just state it again that the language is more important than the script. And what we see in Mahakachasapaha script is basically that it is not Devanagari language or Sanskrit language as we know. It looks very different. Point is that the way we write the Sanskrit language today, the formation, like A is written like this, A is written like that was not the case 5,000 years back. The language was the same. The language existed, but the writing pattern has changed throughout history. Therefore, the writing pattern which you see in this script is basically the Indus Valley period script. Language is definitely Sanskrit, but the script is, from an academic point of view, it is classified as a late Indus script. Indus Valley period is primarily, from an academic point of view again, Indus Valley period is classified into three. One is the early Harappan, medieval Harappan, or the middle Harappan, and the late Harappan. So this belongs to the late Harappan period. And this script is basically, when it's decoded, it comes like this: Maha, Kacha, Sa, Apha, and maybe more of it, but the rest of it is lost, destroyed. What we have today is Maha, Kacha, Sa, Apha, which is decodable as, something is like part of shloka, which was glorifying Varun Dev.
Thank you, Prabhu. Yeah. That's
Thank
really
you.
interesting. Yeah. How the fonts changed over the centuries and millenniums. So that's very interesting.
Yeah, that's why I emphasize that the importance should be given to the language.
Language, yeah, definitely.
It doesn't matter whether you write, like you're writing Mahabharata in what we know as the English script today. The
Roman script, yeah.
language is most important. Language will spread nicely if we are able to be flexible with the script.
Definitely.
That's one reason why ISKCON is so successful, because they were not rigid with the scripts that we will write it only in Devanagari and all that. They allowed it to be freely written in English throughout the world. They gave access to the English script to be, so much free access to English script. Whereas in India, many traditional people would never even dare or think to write the shloka in English. It's considered many places as disrespectful. How do you write Vedic shloka in English? Isn't that incorrect? I mean, it's not good. How do you write? Should not write. So, whereas ISKCON made it very accessible. So that's why I emphasize script is not that important. It is important, but comparatively, what is more important is language. The language is more important than the script.
Thank you, Prabhu. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Sadhvi Mataji, hand left hand.
Yes, you talk about language. I was born in Iran, and my language is Persian, and I know that the word, the old word, the comparing to today word, there are differences, and it depends on the person's how to say state of mind, how this person translate the meaning. You know what I mean? So isn't it the same here? That maybe you can translate it in one way, but in your state of mind, but another person in the different state of mind will change it and translate it in different way, right? Thank you.
Perfect. Perfect. Well said. See, the point is, since you're from Persia, let me like quickly create an amazing background. You know, Persia, the word Persia is actually from Sanskrit. Are you aware of this? Are you aware of this?
I have learned about it, yes, a while.
So what do you know about it?
I don't want to go very much deep in it, but what I have learned, it comes from Arya. Arya Persian are the same.
Okay, I'll give you the background.
Yes.
In the Vedas, there is this mention. I mean, I've done a comprehensive analysis of the Persian history, the Parsi history, and Iranian history, how it is connected to Bharat and all that. So, I'll give you a quick background to it. The word Parshva is mentioned in the Vedas, and in the Mahabharata also, during the Mahabharata period also, the Parshva kingdom was very prominent. Parshva. And this Parshva became Parsu, Parsi. And in English it becomes Persia, Persian. This is how this, as you were rightly pointed out.
And in Iran we call it Farsi.
Yeah,
with F, yes.
See also, yeah. But originally it is pronounced this way. So the point is that yes, there is a mispronunciation happening in across, as we go on in time. Mispronunciation happens, and series of mispronunciations happens that we sometimes forget the original word. That is true. And sometimes the mispronunciation happens in different ways. Like, for example, the city of Mathura is referred as Methora by Megasthenes. The city of Mathura is referred by a Chinese traveler as Maitolo. He calls Mathura as Maitolo. 1500 years back, approximately. Mathura was called as Maitolo. He pronounced it that way based on whatever his state of mind was or his cultural background was. So yes, mispronunciations and pronunciations according to their culture does happen. True. But in the case of the particular inscription in question right now, in terms of Dwarka, this inscription clearly is referring to the worship of Varuna, and there is no ambiguity about it. It is very clear because academically it is clear that this belonged to a particular period called as the late Indus period. The script is also belonging to that period. And therefore, it is very clear in terms of what it actually means, that it is very clear. There is no ambiguity from that point of view. It's very clear that this means Mahakachasapaha, worship of the Varun Devta or the god of the seas. So I hope that answered your question in terms of the translation. Yes, people do translate, but whether your question is on pronunciation or translation, I think I've answered both. From the point of view of pronunciation, this is just directly, you would say syllable to syllable translated, and then they try to decode the shloka. So yes, there could not be any mistake in terms of translation. And pronunciation also, I don't think there is an issue here because
I'm not talking about pronunciation. I'm talking more about translation, because the translation give you the real meaning of the poem. Because the Bhagavad Gita is a poesy, is poem. So and it's in different state of mind, it will give different meaning.
That is
you know
very
what
true.
I mean?
That is very true. What you're saying, I totally understand it. But that complication arises when you're dealing with a large number of shlokas, and they have a lot of philosophical concepts which are too difficult to understand, and so on. This shloka is very straightforward. Oh Samudra Devata. That's all it is mentioned in this shloka. So I don't think there is much complication in terms of differences of how this could be translated. It's pretty much a straightforward shloka which was found underwater. It's very straightforward.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhuji and Mataji. Any other comments, Saurabh Prabhuji?
Hare Krishna, everyone. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Chakrapani Prabhu. Thank you for the session. I don't have any questions or anything to say directly pertaining to the presentation because, you know, you are the person who's done the research, you've given us the facts, you know, and, you know, we receive it. And we are aligned with it in a way because, you know, we are here wanting to hear and maybe see how, you know, what we can do. But I have various things in my mind in terms of the fact that you are here. To me, you are an important person doing this project, you know, and it's an important project. And you're spending your time, you know, in the middle of a night. And I did ask this question whether you could have done it in the day. We could have come and listened to you in the day instead of keeping you awake at night. You know, we know lots about you now, but actually how much through Vipina Prabhu, I'm not sure how much do you know about us, because essentially the group of people you're talking to, we are one Sangha. And we're a Sangha of X amount of members, you know, which is a fairly handful number. But there are also, of course, many such sanghas in under the temple that we are linked to. So without sort of taking up too much of your time in this meeting, you know, how maybe if there is anything that we are going to help you with, or try to help you with, or even are we even worthy of trying to help you with at this level that you're actually trying to do things? You know, I feel as if though you are taking your very hard and, you know, valuable time to come to us and talk. And I don't think it's just a talk in this. If you're going to meet the chief minister of a state to present a project of this level, you know, we're talking about a different level of importance. And every minute of yours has to be proportionately valued. And, you know, how are we adding value as sort of 9 members sitting and taking your time today? Surely it's going to have an effect in your morning tomorrow and your health, you know, in the long term, you know, if you kept doing like this. So, and nobody wants that. So, you know, what is, you know, maybe we need some conversation outside of this meeting, you know, that in a bigger way, in a long-term way, while Vipina Prabhu is involved very closely with you, Amoga Prabhu also probably, you know, where do we stand in terms of how we are going to strategically help you over a long period of time? We're not talking 3 months, we're talking 30 years. So we are friends for the next 30 years. And everywhere you go, because your time is so valuable, everywhere you go, you almost form a league of friends, and they just stay with you, and you don't have to give your time all the time and you just have a coordinating person. Let's say you have Vipina Prabhu here, you have a coordinating person who comes in, who really takes, or maybe more than one person takes a good understanding of your needs at a certain point of time. My head works like that. I'm just speaking my mind. You know, when I see your time taken up, we can't have this just for Saturday evening talk, for example. You know, this is very important time. You know, I think that's what we need to understand as a sangha. You know, how are we going to sort of, because in 2026, you know, one of the things I discussed with our group is, you know, what sort of charities and what we are going to do. So some things have taken off to some proportion, and I'm not in charge at the moment of the sangha. So, you know, how do we, you know, that's the conversation we need to understand. If you need 35,000 pounds within, or 32,000 pounds within, let's say 8 weeks or 10 weeks, how much have you raised? Maybe you don't have to answer my question here at all, I'm just speaking my mind. So, how much have you raised? What's remaining? What do you need that for? And even for us to maybe have an understanding, if we are worthy of knowing that uh, what are these expenses for, so that we can tell people, that we're looking for this amount and this is what this money is going to be required for. Then we might be able to actually make, because the project is not just fascinating, but it is quintessential for our future, for preservation, for heritage, for everything, for everything. So I give a lot of value to your work personally, but I'm just one person, and I have no control of things. So, but I can just share my thoughts and maybe stimulate some thoughts in amongst others. Maybe others are already thinking of this anyway. But if there's anything outside of this that we need to discuss to see we get a better understanding, not just for 3 months, we may be of very limited help in the next 8 weeks, actually how we are going to help you in the next, throughout your lifetime, how this sangha is going to help you, because Krishna consciousness is not going anywhere, devotees are not going anywhere, sanghas will not go anywhere. We will only be building from strength to strength. So that's my thought of just watching you taking this pain, with bad health, at middle of the night, coming and talking to us. It cannot be for our pleasure only, because we are quite comfortable in a very social hour at the moment. So uh, any thoughts from you? Like, I would like to personally hear something.
Thank you so much. I mean, when your statements really, these are the kind of things which when I hear from devotees, it really moves that, at least people are cognizant of the kind of sacrifice which I have put in. I'm not demanding that people should appreciate or be respectful of it, but at least there is some kind of acknowledgement for that. So really, really thank you for that. My heartfelt gratitude for acknowledging my efforts which I have put in. I've literally given up my career and all the comfort of
Yeah.
my corporate life which I had, and my colleagues are placed in Ireland, some of them are placed in the US, and they're earning like, how do you say, around $500,000 per year. That's their salary. And here I am working on heritage sites of Braj. Am I dissatisfied? No, I'm very happy. Although I'm not getting the kind of money they are getting in their careers, I'm very, very happy and satisfied. I was, how can someone do this for so many years continuously on and on? And now while I'm speaking, I'm not feeling stressed out or tired. Yes, there will be a little breakdown in my schedule, but I'll quickly balance it. And so point is that why I'm putting so much of effort now to do this project, because I'm in a very critical time situation, right? I need to complete this project very quickly. Uttar Pradesh Braj Tirth Vikas Parishad is the organization dedicated for heritage conservation. So we are going to sign an MOU with them very soon. And also the fact is that through our sources, we have arranged a meeting directly with the chief minister, and this meeting might happen very quickly. And I need something to show to the minister, the chief minister. And if I, as you said, my time is precious, it's very precious. I also understand that. And to make sure my time is properly used, it has to convince these big people like the CMs or like the Ambanis and all, they need to see my work. And therefore, this pilot project is to show to them that what we are capable of and what Vraj is capable of. That's why we are putting so much of effort now. Like, it's like a wartime effort to make sure that we do this project, because otherwise things don't move. We say, okay, once a while
Yes.
we, okay, Hare Krishna Prabhuji, we're doing this project, think about it doesn't work. Even during Prabhupada's time, if you see, Srila Prabhupada created a marathon for completing Chaitanya Charitamrita. Do you know that the entire Chaitanya Charitamrita was completed in a span of just 2 months? So fast.
Mm.
If any of you know the history of ISKCON, the Chaitanya Charitamrita, 9 volumes were completed in 2 months. Now, Prabhupada created war like an emergency, that you have to do it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Mm.
point is, life is short, Prabhu. Life is very short. Just in the span of blinking, you become a youth, you become middle aged, you become old, and you die. I don't wanna feel bad that I took up such an amazing seva or a project or a thing, and I was slow in getting things done, and therefore I missed out on many potential seva, right, or potential projects. Because Bharat has so much of history. I cannot tell you how many. 65,000 is the minimum number which we have seen, are the number of sites which are buried, which are not yet excavated. 65,000. Just
Yeah.
imagine the potential of what this great country has to offer. We already lost Bangladesh, we lost Pakistan, Afghanistan. Whatever is remaining, at least we have to preserve it. If we don't preserve it, it's gonna go forever. So yes, why I'm doing this presentation, I'm creating my family. Wherever I do presentation, they literally become like my family. They are always with me. Like whenever I go to some place, they make sure that my travels are taken care of. Of course, I'm not doing that with that expectation, but that kind of love and reciprocation automatically gets created.
Yeah.
So that thing is anyway there. Like I went to Europe and I got so many new family members. I would say I go to Malaysia, I do get there. Sri Lanka, yes. So yeah, that is always there. There's no question of it. That whether it will be there or not. Thing right now is that we need some devotees to contribute. Of course, not a doubt, but we need leaders. We need leaders like Vipina Vihari Prabhu. I could call he's a leader. He's taking initiatives to make sure that many people get to know about this, and also he is trying in his capacity to bring in people to support this project. We need that kind of leaders who create war-like emergency and get that project done now. We need to complete this project. This year is very, very critical for us. We are meeting one of the most powerful persons in India, the Chief Minister of Uttar
Yes.
Pradesh.
Yes.
It is going to be phenomenal. Varanasi, Ayodhya, Panchala Kingdom, and Buddha's history, Braj, Mathura, Vrindavan, everything is in Uttar Pradesh, and this person is in charge. This phenomenal, phenomenal, phenomenal possibility. So we don't want to miss this opportunity, and therefore I'm doing it with all urgency. Somehow complete this project at the earliest. So that's about it. Why I need to give my early morning time or the mid of the night time to wake up and do this,
Of course,
because
sir.
emergency.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So one small thing so about your Guru Maharaj and his blessings for you to carry out and all his support. Any comments on that one, please?
Prabhuji, not just my guru, but Guru Maharaj, but Prabhupada disciples across the spectrum are blessing this project like anything. Prabhupada disciples across, like I mentioned few names. One is Haripada Prabhu and his good wife Falini Mataji. They have blessed this project. His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj, His Holiness many other sannyasis. Amog Leela Prabhu, Gauranga Prabhu know this project. And ISKCON Delhi devotees know about this project really well. I'm connected with multiple devotees here in Delhi. And so devotees across the spectrum have blessed this project. They want this project to be successful because one project being successful, this will replicate all over India. So, the thing is that we need to get this quickly moving. I've given everything. I mean, as we say, every drop of blood for this. But sometimes it's beyond capacity that only one person does. So I'm creating a community initiative. We want thousands and possibly hundreds of thousands of people join this mission and restore branch and then Ayodhya, Varanasi, all so much of work, Prabhu, so much of work, so much of work. I cannot tell you how much work. Branch alone has hundreds of sites to be restored. Similarly, Ayodhya, Varanasi, I mean, so much of work need to be done. I mean, there are not many heritage organizations in India, and funds are not coming in so quickly as they should. And there are many volunteers who want to work, but they don't have a proper channel to work. So I'm trying to be that middle person who sorts out all the issues, handle the government properly, bring in the fund properly, handle the compliances, make sure you do good work, do quality research, get the infrastructure built, do the mapping. So I'm trying to be that organization which will solve the problems of multiple people, be it the Hindu who is feeling bad about losing his heritage, be it the government who doesn't find a proper organization to work, be it a volunteer who wants to take part in any seva, be it a donor who wants to invest in some project which is of great value. I'm trying to create an organization which will be of value for all these different kinds of people. In this particular initiative, this Morav and Tosh mapping is going to make a huge difference. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, thank you, Prabhuji.
Sorry, can I come in very quickly? Yeah, so I know it's getting late here in the UK as well. Just to add to this conversation, Saurabh Prabhu, you mentioned about information about the Sangha, which Prabhu had, and how are we going to help, and how come, to what extent we are able to be involved in this project. So yeah, I have had a long conversation with Chakrapani Prabhu regarding our Sangha, how big we are, how it's been running, since when it's been running. So he knows about the background. We are here not to raise 30,000 pounds sterling. That's definitely for sure. If we could, that would be great. That would be amazing. What we are actually doing, we are trying to get a bit of awareness to start with, and to get as much devotees involved initially. So whatever help we could get, whatever amount, or in terms of funds, or in terms of expertise, or physical resource, whatever it is, we're trying to start with something. I mean, Prabhu has got a huge network of devotees around the world already, but it looks like in the UK there was not much happening. So here, coming up with the Agrivis Sangha is just a start. We're not actually expecting to do extraordinary things, but just to start with something, and to see where we can get. And at least some awareness is created in devotees' mind, and they're aware of what kind of project is going on. And if they feel connected to this project, they can come forward. Again, we're not expecting to raise 35,000 K. Whatever comes will help, because given the urgency of the situation at the moment, anyone we could get connected with this project in any capacity, whether it's small or big, that will actually help. So we had this conversation before with Prabhu, that we're not expecting to raise everything in one sangha. We are expecting to create a network of awareness, and for devotees to be aware of this project. And that's what I was mentioning earlier. As many devotees will reach, and as many devotees are aware of the project, the more likelihood for support to get. So this is the primary aim of this project, and also of this of Prabhu coming in this sangha. And also in terms of national level, I have had a discussion with Chakrapani Prabhu for some devotees at the manor. Prabhu has got communication with Nishkinchana Prabhu already, and with Swayam Bhagwan Krishna Maharaj as well. And I have encouraged him to make contact with those devotees. He knows them from before. He has their contacts. So again, it's not to raise everything in the UK, but at least to, through those devotees, to create this network of connections, where devotees can come in and show their support to whatever level they can support. So again, we're not expecting to create magic, but at least to get something out of nothing. And to get those things, we have to start somewhere. So this is the primary objective of Prabhu coming here. I mean, we are very, very grateful to Prabhu for taking out his time. I mean, this evening, Prabhu actually intended to use 30 minutes only. But as we can see, his passion for this project, and the energy he's getting, he did close to 2 hours. So that's what I'm saying. The reason why I brought Prabhu here is actually to start with something, and to create this network of awareness, and to create this huge pool of devotees through different sanghas. and eventually to get as much as possible. But again, we can always have this conversation outside this platform here, and then we can share some ideas how we can further improve on this and to actually create a bigger network, given the urgency of this project and what we are expecting. So yeah, we can have a conversation outside of this if you want to.
Yeah, is one reason why I'm doing this session here also is that I am planning to visit Europe almost once a year. So an extension of that could be that I visit the UK, and when we have devotees who know me well from before, it makes much easier to arrange the travels and move around. We all have some kind of like a family before, so that also makes it much easier. So yes, I like to connect with newer communities and across different countries to kind of build, as Vipina Prabhu rightly pointed out, that it's like creating a network in that place so that eventually when we do physical sessions, it helps a lot. That's also part of the entire picture why I'm doing this.
Vipina Prabhu, thank you for sharing your thoughts and the updates you gave. That's really reassuring, helpful to understand. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. If you're all happy, then we shall conclude for tonight. And we would like to see Prabhuji next Saturday with more, and we'll expect to hear more and more.
Yeah, next Saturday I'll be recovered. My voice also will be back, so it will be much better.
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. Okay, devotees, if you're all happy, we can conclude for tonight. Okay.
Let's all say 3 loud Hari bols for Prabhu.
Yes.
Hari
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 bol.
bol.
Hari
Hari
bol.
bol.
Hari
Hari
bol.
bol.
Hari bol. Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Hope to
Thank
see
you,
you next
Prabhuji.
week with a better voice and better health, Prabhu. Hari
Yeah,
bol.
we wish you a quick recovery. May Krishna help you. Quickly, Krishna.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Chakrapatrubyascha कृपासिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः गौरी वैष्णववृंद की जय
Prabhupada ki jai.
जय
Okay, have a Krishna consciousness, everyone. See you tomorrow
Hare
morning
Krishna.
for the first session, 5:30. See you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.